Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to another installment of the Battle of Dresden. We are, I believe, at the 12 o'clock turn. Yep, we're at the top of the 12 o'clock turn. And we've got all kinds of excitement going on. If we pull back just a little bit here, I can show you what's happening. Oh, we went the wrong way. The joys of the button. So, the French have got the usual situation. We've got Russian, the avant-garde, what's left of it, and a fresh division have just come in. They've taken redoubt number 1. And over here, along this sector, we've got two, Prussian brigades that have suffered various and sundry casualties, and there's a fresh brigade coming in here that is maneuvering through the Grossgarten. Meanwhile, over on the south side of the city, the Austrians are pushing forward, preparing to attack the various redoubts in that sector. And the French have got a Tests brigade starting to move through the Altstadt on their way towards the southern sector. And following up behind them, we have the first portion of the reserve cavalry corps coming in. This is a bunch of light cavalry, and we have Marshal Murat alongside them. So that's kind of where things stand right now. It's been a very interesting battle as it's developing, and to be honest with you, this is a really fun and challenging scenario for the French. They've got a lot of stuff they've got to try to do, maneuvering around and trying to kind of plug all the many holes that are the approaches to Dresden. And for the Allies, it's a matter of trying to coordinate themselves and get into some sort of position as well. So that's where things stand. And now we'll jump in with our colleagues on the Discord channel. All right, guys, I'm back.
Hey, Eric, do you remember how your Peugeot guy got recovered completely and my guy did not recover completely, and they fought in the same battle?
Because you attacked me in your charge phase, correct?
Right.
And I reaction charged, so I was tired. And
you were tired.
Right. And
yeah.
So then the French move came up, right? And I moved half of my movement, and at the end of my recovery phase, the tired marker came off. So that's
okay. So then
of the whole problem with the. So you were exhausted because you charged and meleeed. I was only tired because all I did was melee.
Yeah. Well, your charge marker and your tired came off. My charge marker only came off. I'm trying to figure out what's the difference there.
Well, your charge marker came off. So you attacked. So you had the jump on me, right? The Allies had the first draw. So you attacked me, and you charged.
So then,
and then
after that,
I countercharged, right? So at the end of the Austrian segment, you had we both had the charge markers on us, but then at the end of the Austrian segment, the charge markers came off, okay? And I had the tired marker on. So then I just moved, I don't know, 6 hexes or whatever it was from where I was. I didn't move, I moved less than half. And so if you move less than half, then you're not going to be tired. You go up a level of readiness. So that's what happened over there with Peugeot.
Well, I mean, it seems like if we were both under charge markers and some readiness problem, it seems like we would be equal in what we well, where we stood now, but I'm exhausted and you don't have any. I don't get that, how in the fifth that can take place. I mean, maybe that's a problem I have with the fifth, is the sequencing or something is wrong, but you got to take off not only a readiness, you got to, as a matter of fact, you moved and I didn't move at all. And I've still got my exhausted on.
Well, so you have it on. So in the last turn, right? So
Yeah.
in the 1140 turn, the Austrians' chit came up first. So you charged and you meleeed. So you were exhausted,
Yeah.
and I only meleeed because I did a reaction charge.
Oh, okay. I see.
Right?
So, well,
So
okay.
then
So the end of my turn, the charge marker came off.
yeah, it came off
And
both
then,
of us, right?
and both of yours came off at the end of your turn.
No,
Oh,
because I
okay.
didn't have a charge. I didn't charge. So I didn't charge
But you had
in my
a
phase.
tired marker and a charge marker.
So the charge marker came off at the end of the Austrian player's turn, right? And then the French chit got drawn at some point later. And then I moved, and then the tired marker comes off, or whatever level of readiness would come off. So say, for example, if now here's the 12 o'clock turn. If the French come up first, then it's a case where machinations of fate, where I will be ahead of you. But if it's a case where the Austrians are drawn first, then your exhausted marker will come off of your guy.
Okay. Well,
and so then we'll be even. But this is.
I think this is an example of why I don't like the fifth, is because it seems like any point in time, if we had combat at the same time, that the status of our units should be the same at any subsequent point in time, if not everything else equal. And that's not the case here. I'm exhausted and you're totally ready to fight,
exactly.
Even though we fought at the same time.
So reorganization where is that reorganization segment? Because there's one thing in the back of my mind here that I'm thinking that actually, if you actually were involved in melee, I don't think you can remove the tired marker in that turn.
Well, so the reorganization,
that's kind of what
reorganization segment is at the end of each player's, movement segment.
But I think it said, that's why I was looking for it here. I don't think you can, if you had participated in a melee in that round, you cannot remove it, even if you only moved half your distance. But that's what I'm.
Yeah, that would put us at equal status.
I'd put him at 1 and you at 2.
Well, but I understand that. I would say that is equal because right. I have a readiness problem and he has a readiness problem. They're just different degrees. But that would be, we end the turn, we meleeed at the same time, we would be end the turn at the same status, so to speak, for the readiness problem.
Right. So this is why when we were looking at stuff, it gets disjointed like this when we have the potential of back-to-back stuff, right? So if it were a case where, the French moved...
There was no back-to-back. I mean, there was my turn, you took off the charge markers, and then at the end of your turn, it would seem like at the end of your turn, if you took off your readiness marker, I could take mine off too. You see what I mean? Because I didn't move.
Yeah. And, so I mean,
you get my point, don't you? I may be in the wrong as far as the rules are concerned, but it just demonstrates to me that we had a fight at the exact same time.
Okay, here it is. I found it. 16.1F. Cavalry may recover 1 step of readiness by moving no more than half of its movement rate in 1 turn and not charging or conducting melee, attack or defense that turn. So yeah, you could not have recovered that.
Okay.
All right, that makes sense to me. Then we're equal, so to speak.
Well, has that been what we've been doing is the question.
I don't
Yeah, I
know.
think so.
Yeah, and so
That's what we.
the so then here's what would happen,
Cavalry
right?
may not rest if involved in melee at any time in a turn.
Yeah, I thought that was a given. Everybody knew that you don't take that exhausted marker off. That unit moved within any fighting.
I'm not. I wasn't exhausted. I wasn't
He was
exhausted.
just
I was only
tired, but it
tired.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You could not have rested because you did fight that turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that then puts the second player at a disadvantage because now I'll be tired, and well, it could still be at a disadvantage
He's
because
exhausted.
yeah, I'm
You're
not
just tired.
I'm tired, right? But
It
what I'm
puts
saying
it
is
puts
that from the point of view of all this readiness stuff,
right.
it just makes more sense the way they have it in the premiere, where if I get tired during your phase, my tiredness
Yeah.
doesn't clear until your phase.
Yeah,
And if I get
think
exhausted in your phase and vice versa, but with this, because and then we have stuff getting drawn higgledy piggledy, it's just messy. And so that's why I thought, that was one of the reasons why, Albert, I thought you were advocating that we go with skip the chit pull and just have the French move, then the Austrians move, and then we conduct whatever, joint leader regroup reinforcement phase kind of a thing. So that way we avoid all of this stuff.
Yeah, well, I just think that this is once again now whoever pulls the chip, has got an advantage over the other one, but that's just the nature of this potential back to back. Because if you pull first, then you will get the tired off first before I get the exhausted off. I won't be able to do anything with that unit until next turn, so to speak. And
neither of you actually will be able to.
Neither one of us can actually do anything really. Yeah. You pull first, or I pull first, I guess. So this seems to me okay because you've got the same problem I do, and except mine's more severe, which is because I did more. I agree with that. And this just seems right to me that we both have a readiness problem of some sort. Okay.
Right. So if that's the case, so if I couldn't have recovered, I might as well move this guy a little further, because it would have.
Feel free to.
Yeah. I'll just move him further up, that way.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad that we cleared that up. So so it sounds like during the turn then, whatever happens. So let me just double check, because there's got to be some way for us to note that. So maybe it's a case where the charge marker stays on me until my phase?
Oh, we took the charge marker off, I think.
No, but we took the charge marker off in your phase. So is it a case where the charge marker should stay on during my phase?
Well,
I don't know.
It's pretty clear the way the rule is written that if you melee during that turn, you can't recover.
No, I know, but I mean, it's just a matter of, from a point of view of notation. Well, let me read through here, because I'm looking at, oh gosh, this is section 7.7, because you were asking about reorganization. So this is where they have a reorganization segment listed, but it looks like it's supposed to happen at the end of each player's phase. So let's read the recapitulation here. So when this is finished, all eligible units are moved in the timed manner. Play then proceeds to combat, fire, defensive fire. Active side gives offensive fire. Then there's assaults, any assaults. Upon completion of this active player, okay, this makes sense then. Upon completion of this, the active player removes his charge markers and reorganizes his disordered and routed units. Play then resumes, drawing cups from the chit, or chips from the cup, until the other side's move comes up. And then you repeat it. So It does look like that the charge marker is supposed to stay on until all the way through until the end of my turn.
Okay. That makes sense to me too. I mean, because we're in the bubble for the entire 20 minutes, not half of the 20 minutes.
Right. And so that's, I think, what we weren't doing before. So that means that,
I think that was
yeah. So that means that if, for example, infantry is charged and it's in the bubble, it's in the bubble until the end of that player's turn, not just the end of whoever charged turn. Or similarly with the cavalry, where it's in the bubble, kind of a thing. So that means though you could potentially have a unit in the bubble into the next turn.
Right.
So
yeah.
I mean,
But isn't this where Tom was where he stopped wanting to play because Ed got involved in this and said that wasn't his intention? Because we were playing the bubble for the whole turn, right? And Ed said, no, it's only supposed to be for the one side.
Well,
so
Ed could solve this problem by just creating a reorganization section for both sides at the same time.
Well, and so that's where part of the question is, because on page 3, where it says charge markers, it says cavalry charge units that charge are marked with a counter to show that they will charge, are conducting a charge, have already charged, and thus moved and conducted melee this turn, and may not be further interfered with for the rest of the turn by other units. So this would imply that there's some kind of, so it uses turn and not player phase. Right. And so that was the question that we had for Ed was, do the charge markers stay on until the end of the turn, until the end of the 20-minute turn when we go to move the clock forward? Or do they come off at the end of that active player's turn? Now, the stuff that I just read previously said that the charge marker comes off at the end of the active player's turn, but it doesn't say that all charge markers come on. It only says the active player removes charge markers, right? So that would imply that the charge markers for my unit, right? So in the case that we had here last turn with Pajol over here fighting against whomever this was,
right? Yeah.
The charge marker would have stayed on Pajol until the end of my turn. So he would be stuck there. So he wouldn't have been able to move at all. Because he would have been under the charge marker.
Yeah, and then I would have been under the charge marker for only half a turn, basically.
Exactly.
My guy is free to move the second in response. Well, if he was tired, he would be free to move in reaction, I think. So
well, so
I don't know.
So here's what would happen, right? I'm under the charge marker. Say, for example, so at the end of my turn, so the French went last after the Austrians. I would have taken this off. Pajol would have been here, but he would have been tired. So this is what things would have looked like. Now, if you draw,
I would have also been there. Because I wasn't able to. I was under the charge marker at the end of my turn. I take it off, and I don't have it unless I'm doing some kind of response. I'm not going to move again.
Right. So you would have the charge marker would come off of you, but it would stay on me. So you're right. It's a case where somebody is only got the charge marker on for half the turn, and somebody else might have it on for the whole turn. So for me, I've got it on from the start when you go, and then when it's my movement phase, I'm also under the charge marker.
Yeah.
So
that seems like
it would make sense for us if we did this where everybody's under the charge marker until the end of the turn, and then we do all cavalry recovery also at the end of the turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
what
that way,
that's
then it's even for everybody, because otherwise you'd have something where you would recover, and then so say for example the Austrians get the draw, you don't move at all, you take the exhausted marker off. If I try to move from where I am right now, you could opportunity charge me, and I
yeah.
couldn't do a damn thing about it, you know.
Yeah.
And
I think that's the solution is to
Al, don't you
move on.
remember last year? This is what I was arguing with you about when we were starting to play Lenny. Like it all, whoever draws first gets to do all these things before the other player does. And how is that even possible if everything's happening at the same time?
That's exactly right, John. And that's why I think we ought to make a house rule, regardless of, I guess Ed's ambiguous on this or something, but we ought to make a house rule to do all this stuff at the end, cavalry at the end of the turn.
so we have two options, right? One option is we ditch the drawing for moves, and we just say, okay, the French move, then the Allies move, then the French move, then the Allies move, and we never have to worry about this, because if I charge in my phase and something happens, we're under the bubble just for my phase, and then it's your phase, and then I don't have a chance to recover until the next turn. We don't have this problem with stuff like with overlapping things.
Yeah,
So
we don't have the
yeah, and so
yeah,
that's the
we don't have the back-to-back problem.
exactly. You don't have the back-to-back
And
problem, and we dispense with it, and then all we would do would be just draw the four, administrative chits at the end of the turn. So after you've
Right.
moved,
Then-
after I've moved, then we would conduct leader movement. We'd conduct reinforcements, regroup in whatever they're drawn, and grand batteries. We do all of that in just whatever order they're drawn. And
Yeah.
that way, then
I think that's probably the ultimate solution. Yeah, and next game if we play the 5th again, that is a modification I would do. Make it in that respect like the premier rules. That way nobody gets a back-to-back advantage, which is a tremendous, and you don't have this problem
yes.
that we just talked about.
So my question is, gentlemen, is that the sort of thing that you would like to implement going forward now? Because I don't think this is going to be the only time that we have this, particularly as there's more cavalry that comes into. I got a bunch of cavalry showing up. You got more cavalry activating. I can see us going around and around with this stuff.
Yeah.
And having the same issue.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we could. I guess we could. It's. I hate to change the rules in the middle of the game, but hey,
Well, it's
I guess
it's our game, so we can do whatever the hell we want, and we can see if we like it better, and if we don't, we could change it back. But this might be a good test case because we're playing it as is in Moscow, right? And we can test it here with a different system, with this modified system of one person goes, then the other person goes, then we draw the chits. And we then have a case study where we can look at things and see what we want to do. So, you tell me, I think that it would make sense for us to try this, if nothing else, just for the sake of trying it. And if we don't like it, we can always switch back.
Okay, so if we started this right now, it would be French player turn.
Potentially. We have a choice.
Yeah, that's fine.
We have a choice.
That's
We can either
fine.
do French turn or, we could draw lots and see who goes first.
I would go to the premier rule precedent here.
Okay.
Tom's favorite word, precedent, and do it that way. Since the French do have, over most of the opponents during most of the war, they did have an initiative advantage.
Okay. Well, then let's try it.
I think that's why.
And
I think that's why the premier guys, the marshal guys, put them first in their sequence of play.
All of that other rules before he did the regs were all like that. His first regs. I mean, if you look at the 4th, it's the French go first, do their thing, then the Allies go.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same in 3rd edition. So the only time it changes is if there's a scenario where it says the other, the Allies go first, in this scenario kind of a thing. Like maybe at, actually, I don't even know if it's the case in Lutzen, how they handle it. But needless to say, okay, that sounds fine. And I'm sure let's try it out and let's see.
Guys, hang on a second. Lutzen was the third with the regs thrown into it. Ed's regs. It was a mixture of both.
Right.
Because it's chit drawn.
Right.
But in that game, the assaults all happen after everybody's MUs are drawn.
Right, so they're more like the regs in Marie-Louise in that regard.
Yes, but the cavalry charges are like the third and the fifth.
Oh, really? Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I ever played Lutzen, or I only played one or two little scenarios with it, so I'm not that familiar with it. All right, so gentlemen, if that's the case, if everyone's agreeable, then I will allocate my moves. And you guys can chat.
Now, blah, 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 blah. Stop a second. What did we decide on? And the other thing, were you going back to where you were originally in that?
Yeah, so I moved my guy back to where he was.
No, you were right there.
Oh, was he there? Okay.
Yeah, because it was a straight shot charge along that line.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
David, I can hear those other guys like Al and I keep wanting to say Doctor Who because I'm looking at the things. And Eric, I can hear those guys. They're like really clear. You sound like you're like in another room.
Yeah, your voice is kind of muffled. You might want to turn your volume up or something.
Is that any better?
Oh, much better.
Much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess my microphone was just a little too far away.
Okay.
Okay.
Much better. All right. Okay, let's do that.
So let's just make sure that we're set with stuff. So if there's a cavalry charge, everybody is under the bubble for that player phase. And then the bubble is removed at the end of, for example, the French phase. If there were any charges in the French phase, the bubble would be removed then. And then if there's an Austrian phase, the bubble is removed at the end of the Austrian phase. But because we have everything just going one and then the next and the next and the next, we won't have a case where somebody's fresher than they normally would have been otherwise.
Okay, here's an idea I have. There are French tireds and Allied tireds. So if the charge takes place in the French segment, we use French markers so we remember to take them off at the end of the French phase. If the the combat takes place at the Allied, we use Allied tired markers. And we color coded as to when the markers come off.
We could do that too, because that is very much a premier kind of thing. And I do see that, for example, on your Palatine guys, the exhausted markers, they look like they have a green border. And the French one that's on my guy has a blue border. So it does look like there's a subtle way for us to tell the difference there. So if that's what you guys would like to do, I'm perfectly content with that. I'm used to that with all the playtesting I've been doing with Jim. So
that's good. Okay, good. I think that will help us know when they come off, because we could lose track.
Yes. So in this particular case, I will change out the tired marker on Pajol, and let me go find a unit marker here. Cavalry, French tired. I want a Russian tired. Okay.
There you go.
Does that make sense now?
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Good.
Data analysis shows too many variables.
There are too many variables.
There are too many variables. Okay, so we will we'll maintain the charge marker for the sake of knowing that people were engaged in a melee and charge was happening during that particular combat phase. It'll come off for everybody, all players, at the end of that particular movement phase. So for example, it happens in the French phase, it'll come off of everybody, not just the French, but Austrians.
Yeah, in this particular case, it was the first. It should come off at the end of your turn. So even though because it was the first half of last turn, so
right. So now what will happen is with Pajol, he'll be able to move, but his tired marker won't come off until the end of the Allied phase. Right?
Right.
Okay. And if there's a charge that
No. I'm saying that it comes off at because we had the Austrians go first last time. Well, that's equivalent. Now we're doing the French first all the time. So we'll take off both of these tired markers at the end of your turn.
When did we go to French first all of a sudden? We're not doing chip pulls anymore?
No, we're going with the French and then the Austrians, and then everyone pulls. We pull the administrative chits at the end.
However, that would allow.
I don't like that idea at all.
You don't?
Well, you don't like that idea this turn, but you might like that idea later on in the game where the French young guard don't get 2 turns in a row. Right?
Nobody will get 2 turns in a row ever again. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's the whole point. So, I mean, right now it might not be, your cup of tea, but I think in the end it will be something that, let's just give it a try, guys. Let's just give it a try. So, all right, I think we have an agreement. John, do you understand what we're doing?
Wait a second.
Understand? I'm just going along. I'm not arguing.
Yeah, I'll come down to headquarters a second.
All right, so David, tell me what's up.
Oh, I think he left.
I think he left. Let's get him back up here.
I think he wants me to come down there. He wants us.
David.
Right, we'll go down. We'll come back up, Eric. Hang on a second.
Yeah. So David, what's up?
Yeah, we can all talk about it. I mean, if it's a sequence of play issue.
Well, I don't like this change all of a sudden because part of what I'm going to do depends on whether we go first or not, and I would like a chance that it goes first.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go.
So here's the way we solve it. We put a chit in the cup, a French chit in the cup. We put an Austrian chit in the cup. And we just draw it. If the Austrians draw first, then you guys will go first at the beginning of every hour, at the beginning of every turn, and the French will go second. And we'll just go Austrian, French, Austrian, French, Austrian, French. It doesn't matter to me which one we do first. Okay. It's just
what are we trying to solve by this?
We're trying to solve all of this other stuff with what's under the thing, what's covered, what's not. And Albert was going on about this whole thing with the double move. I
remember that email I sent out where I said I criticized the fifth and a couple of three items, and one of them was that I thought that the back-to-back movement was. You didn't get that? Okay.
No, I don't.
One of was the back-to-back movement was gave too big of an advantage. It just swung the game in too extremely. Having to get 2 moves in a row really could swing the game in an unusual manner, if you know what I mean. And it's just too big of an advantage for whoever gets back to back. Now I realize if they you could get back to back, and then the other side will probably get a back to back too. But at some point. But it's just if it's at a critical time, it could really blow the game wide open.
Well, and that's the fortunes of war.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see that. I think it's I just say that's too much of too much randomization. And that's just what I'm saying. I thought it was too extreme, the back-to-back advantage. Now, other people might say, hey, that's just the way the die, cookie crumbles or whatever.
Couldn't we also just make like the cavalry rules? We'll just play like we all thought it was supposed to be played, where the bubble stays on those units to the end of the 20-minute turn. And that's it. There's no it comes off on one side, but it stays on the other side. It's just there's 20 minutes and the bubble, you charged at the 140 turn, there's a bubble around those guys until the beginning of the 2 o'clock turn.
Or the end of the turn.
Yeah, at the end of it, right. It comes off at the end of the turn. All the charge markers come off, blah, blah, blah. There you go. Now, if Eric gets lucky and he gets 2 back-to-back French turns, then okay. But at least we're not arguing about this cavalry crap anymore.
Well, and then by the same stroke, you would say, then do the cavalry readiness all happen at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay. So that would mean that
it all happens at the same time. Yeah. Because they were involved in the freaking charge. That's another thing. This whole notion of the infantry unit being in the bubble is ridiculous because there's opportunity charge. That's what that's all about. So why the hell would the infantry unit that's standing there having a cavalry unit charge over it then be in the bubble for the rest of the move?
Yeah, because then you end up pinning that unit. Well, I mean, you're pinning it anyway because it's the opportunity charge is happening during your movement phase anyway, so it would have gotten pinned anyway.
I mean, the regular charge units, like the regular charge. Like I'm going to charge some of your units so that they're in the bubble the next turn, so they can't do anything when it becomes your turn.
Yeah.
To me, that just seems ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely gives, and that's why I think Ed had advocated that the bubble comes off at the end of your turn, so that way then the other guy's stuff isn't caught, basically trapped in amber or in stasis for the entire turn, kind of a thing.
In the premier rules, is the infantry unit in a bubble too?
Nope, there's no bubble at all.
There's no bubble in the premier.
Yeah, I have never heard of this thing of the infantry units being in a bubble. That's not in the rules here. It's not in the 5th anywhere. It doesn't say that in the 5th.
I mean, it doesn't call it a bubble, but it does say that, and if you look at the 7.5 reorganization segment, it says recover from PTD, then it says recover from disorder, and then if there's more mews to go ahead and draw.
Right.
If you're done withdrawing from the cup, now you go to readiness recovery, and then you remove the charge markers. Then you go to your morale level determination and start again. I mean, it's
okay. Let's
the way it's written.
I'll throw something out. Okay, let's not go so radical as to go to the sequence. We'll continue the rest of this game with the chit pulls determining, so there will be a possibility of back-to-backs. But we will switch the cavalry thing to the end of the turn.
Makes sense.
So are we saying that the cavalry is in the bubble until the end of the
turn? So we're making a cavalry reorganization segment that we're putting at the end of the very end of the turn.
Yeah, I don't like that because then that ends up with stuff getting drawn randomly. You could have your unit kind of stuck there and then surrounded, and they don't have any way of moving. And that's why if you have it where if one side moves and then the other side moves and we have it steady. It's the whoever side A goes first, then side B, side A, side B, side A, side B. It's always the same. Then we avoid all of this stuff because then we don't have to worry about stuff, getting drawn randomly, picked here, there, and then now you've got a cavalry unit that's basically stuck for 2 turns in a row practically.
Well, if it came off at the end of every turn, how would it get stuck? I mean, let's go back to our example.
Because your readiness. So, well, I don't know.
Okay, so I charged you, and let's go back to our little example. Yeah. I charged you, so we're both in the bubble until the end of the turn. Now, nobody can come up. I've already moved, so I can't come up. Well, okay, I charge you. If I had infantry around there, I could, in my move, come up and surround Pajol, right?
Right. Or
that's what you don't like, and I understand that, because it's not enough just being in the bubble from fire or assault. It's also just being people moving around you and surrounding you.
Yeah, yeah. So that's where, I mean, you could have that happen in the regular thing. So if I charge and I'm out, somewhere, I guess at the end of the turn, I could be stuck out somewhere after the end of my charge and be in trouble. But what I'm saying is, it's a case where you've charged me or I've charged you, whatever, in the other phase, and then I don't have a chance to get out of it. So I don't know. It's a tricky thing trying to figure out how to do it. But whatever we decide to do, we should try to come up with a decision and then post something, so that way we know.
Yeah. If we played with no bubble whatsoever, like the Premier.
Let's see.
Well, I mean, we might as well just play with the Premier at that point. Which, okay. Yeah.
Well,
so I mean,
let's just continue playing it like we have, and contemplate this for another week.
Yeah. Well, we'll have 2 weeks to think about it.
2 weeks to think about it.
Yeah,
okay.
We're taking.
Maybe we can work out some solution at that time.
Somebody explain this to me just one time.
Sure.
Just the last 20, and not a big long discussion. Why, if I cavalry charge an infantry unit, it's in the bubble, but if I infantry charge it, if I infantry assault it, it's not in the bubble, and let's say I don't win that assault, right? It can be assaulted again. It can be that player then can move it the next turn. I also can assault. I don't understand this infantry being in the bubble thing. It doesn't make any freaking sense to me.
I agree, but
it's preposterous. I can see the cavalry because they're all moving around all over the place, all over the field. But the infantry, really?
That is, I don't know. This is. I'm not going to say anything.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll just continue to work with it where we've been playing it from the beginning of this game. Yeah. And we'll just work situations out one by one.
That sounds fine. Okay, you guys go and chat and figure out what the heck you're going to do, and I will sit here all by myself. You let me know when you're back.
All right.
All right. Well, let's see what's going on here in the universe. Well, I'm going to put everybody here on hold for a second. All right, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Hopefully we are back. And let's see where my markers are.
Rules. Okay. All right. So,
You guys are back.
where's the game? There's the game. Oh, that's my. Okay, here we go.
Like cavalry.
All right,
Yeah,
ready
there's
to
a-
rock.
Al, there's a list of them.
There he is.
That Heck,
Okay, I guess I was
Sneller, Starkenfels, Mudius, Melsninov, Chechvich, and Alaski. So,
okay. Got to get that list out.
Now, they might not all be here at the same time. So some of
Right.
them may or
it's
may not be.
5.2 in the special.
Yeah, I might have been cheating because I've been rolling for 2 lights every time.
I think there's 2 of them out there right now. I know one of them that you've been rolling for is one of them.
Schellner, I think, is one of the guys I was rolling for, and
Yes.
Heck is the other one.
Yeah, and those are both.
They're both okay. All right, okay. Then I've been legal.
Barely.
Okay. Okay, so now, so I'll roll for Snellner.
I don't know where Schnellner is, but I know Hecht is.
Snellner is the guy who was down there surrounding that Pajol unit.
Okay.
That
He's still down there.
Yeah, so he's probably a distance away from whoever his commander is.
6, so he fails. There's no doubt about that.
So what's this is a 12 o'clock turn, right?
Correct.
Because I think I got somebody coming in here.
Okay, now Heck got it. So we have we'll end up having 6. But Heck takes that one up, so it's not like a freed one up for David or something. Okay.
Yeah, and Hecht is there by the bridge. He's exhausted. He's one of the exhausted units you have.
Yeah. All right. So Heck will get number 6. So we'll put that down.
General Huene.
All right. And Eric, you put yours down at the beginning.
I've already got everybody marked. The only
Okay.
people I haven't marked are my a move for the guys that are marching in. I've got to give them a destination point. So let me go grab something. Do 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 do.
All right.
I don't think, yeah, and the one I got coming in is not one that gets it. All right, so what are we doing?
We're putting stuff in the chit pool cup, right?
Oh, okay. Yes. That sounds like a good thing to do.
Oh yeah.
Mostly.
Okay. We have 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. we've got our 6 in there.
All right, and I've got my 4 in there. So we give it a good vigorous shaking, and we'll see what we come up with. Who'd like to draw? John, you were absent yesterday, so you didn't get to draw anything. So
No.
Your turn to draw.
Right.
It doesn't really matter. It's all random in theory.
There
There you go.
Oh, there you got your wish, Dave.
All right.
So here's where it's going to be a challenge, because it's just the one of me to try to follow all of you guys. So are there any cavalry
Let's go
charges?
section by section then.
Yeah. So first of all, are there any cavalry charges?
Yeah.
I got
Oh,
one.
Okay, well, so let's start with John, and we'll go from right to left.
So John, you have a charge?
You.
Okay, go ahead and mark them.
I'm trying to find him. Oops. What's that mean? I don't know. Hang on. There you go.
Okay.
He's marked.
All right. Is that it? Just that one fella?
Just this one fella. Yeah, Prussian suicide attacks.
No, you're good at those. All right. David, do you have any charges?
All right, there's a charge marker. Is that one available on the? Yeah.
Yeah, you should be able to pull one up. Okay. So you got a charge there. Any other charges?
no.
None on your side, Albert?
No. I've got everybody is exhausted or too far away.
Okay. All right. So, John, why don't you start yours first?
Well, we'll move the marker. So this guy's going to go 1, and then he's going to turn to this. So that would be 2, 3, 4, 5. It's coming out
Okay,
up
so
the
hang
road.
on. So, wait.
Yep.
Yeah, move back a little ways here.
All right.
So 1, 2, 3. Let's see. So 1.
You're at 4 right here.
2, 3, 4. So when he's there, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to have this guy form square at a range of 4.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and roll our dice. 36, even for provincial, he manages to do it. Okay, so now let's go ahead and find a little square marker for him. Good. And then, okay, move forward again.
There.
All right, now I'm going to make a reaction charge with Lebrun right here.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I didn't know those guys were over there.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep. So let me roll for that. And what do you know?
Guy's
We
big.
go. So we would
That
go
guy's big.
here, and then, I don't know what, we're meeting in the middle somewhere.
Looks like we're meeting on top of that square.
Well, we can't meet on top of the square, but I can meet you there. If you want to do that.
Now these guys, whoever you went over, don't they have to roll because
Nope.
it's charging cavalry?
Nope, you can go over cavalry can charge over squares, just like you charged over your skirmishers. It's only if I charged over formed units.
Oh,
That's why I formed it into square, so I could charge over the
well, I
top of it.
understand that, but all it says is infantry with charging cavalry, and that's infantry. Just because they're in a square doesn't make them not infantry.
What?
Well, the stacking violations say infantry with charging cavalry -12.
Oh, you can charge over a square,
Yes. You
both
can.
sides.
I read it just earlier today. So.
Yeah.
In 12.7.
Yeah, you can go over a square.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's so that one's done. Let's mark that. And move your guy up. and then we'll put the mark on it. And I guess will be the attacker since I did the reaction charge, for what it's worth. Okay, let's go ahead and do yours now, David.
All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
We'll see if David's second,
8.
Okay,
his
so
second attempt
at
to
a
charge
range of
us.
4, I'm going to try to form square with that guy. So we'll roll the dice. 32, that's more than enough with these guys. Okay.
And so I'll continue.
Oh, you're going to charge him. Okay.
All righty.
You could try and recall.
I can't hear you, David. Oh, you disappeared. For a second.
I'm deciding what's the recall roll. Okay,
What's the recall roll? I think it's probably 1 through 4, but
recall table?
cavalry recall for the
1 through 4.
the Austrians is 1 through 4.
And if it doesn't recall, it just continues into it, right?
So no, because you haven't declared a target yet, right?
Oh.
So you could keep driving your guy all around the place, but there really isn't much that you could charge per se. But yeah,
Or you can stop him right there.
What's that?
Do you want anything from Rich Farms?
No, thank you.
Okay, I'll roll for recall. Whatever. We'll see if we can.
And so recalls. So you just park him right there, put a tired marker on it, and leave the bubble on him. So he lives in a little bubbly world.
Someday, David, there's a charge out there for you somewhere.
Let's see, where's the tired thing?
So you, I think you want to move your.
Oh, that's the wrong. That's the wrong guy.
He's very brave. Just he and a
Yes,
couple of guys on horseback are charging.
That was the wrong guy. He was put him back where you are. All right, there. Where you go?
Follow me.
This guy. Where's the tired thing?
Just out of curiosity,
Tired.
you can't execute a charge across those land grabbens or whatever they're called.
So these are not on this side. They're not labeled as Landgraben. They are ditches.
It's a dry stream bed there. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, dry stream beds. Okay.
Well, it's
They
not
look-
dry stream bed. It's a ditch, right? These are the ditches that are on this side. So they would have whatever the movement value is against a ditch. I think it's like a plus.
It's a
3 or
drainage
something.
ditch. Yes.
Yeah, that's different than the
Okay.
Landgraben, which the cavalry can't move across.
Which is a
Oh, I
bigger
see.
drainage ditch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There are ditches on the other side, but besides the Landgraben,
Correct.
not many of them. Okay. I see. That's got double lines and everything too. It's a little bit more severe.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
let's go ahead and do this combat here, John. So I don't know what you've got. I'll flip my go over and see what the heck he's got. And I know you've taken a few losses, so you're at a third of whatever that is. So you're like probably 14 or 15. And I've got 45. So it's going to be a 3-1 with a +5 for Lebrun. Does that sound about right, gentlemen?
It is a 3-1. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Let's grab the old chart and roll the dice. Here we go. 54 plus 5 is going to be a 64 at 3-1. That is going to be a DD. So you'll lose an increment and then you will route away. And you'll be exhausted, and I will be tired.
Out there?
I'm still here.
Okay, I left for a minute and I came back. It's total silence.
We're giving you the silent treatment, Al.
Oh, okay. Story of my life.
Oh, that's hardly the case. Only when you've misbehaved, I'm sure.
Okay, what happened here? So it looks like John's left the premises. No, wait a minute. Yeah.
Oh, was he not? He was just moving stuff around a second ago.
Oh, are we on the clock?
Nope. We just finished the last charge
Okay.
sequence.
Right.
So now,
what happened to his guy? Did his guy disappear?
No, his guy routed away.
Oh, routed away. Okay.
Yeah. So okay. Now let's see. So how do we want to try to do this? It looks like we could do each of you guys with your moves. Is that the way you want to do it? And I'll work with one of you, and then we'll move to the next guy, and then we'll move to the next guy.
I think that's
sequentially do 10 minutes or whatever.
Okay. So that sounds like a deal. That's probably the easiest way to do things until we can find another French player. So, where do we want to start? Albert, do we want to start on your end of the battlefield? Or do you have that many to move around, or what do you want to do?
I don't know. Let's start at the other end.
Oh, typical Austrian player there. Let's let the other guys see what they do first. Well, John, are you ready to do something then? I guess if Albert is designating you as the person to do stuff.
Sure.
Okay. So, which mood do you want to start with first?
We'll start up here with 14.
Okay, and that I presume is that Russian division of Menselov. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
These guys are just going to come down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I don't know. Oh, you're over there. Okay.
Yeah. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Only like those. This.
All those. God! Come here, guy. Back over here.
I like this even better.
Why do I keep getting that coming on?
Are you trying to rotate him around or something, John?
Yeah, because I keep hitting the wrong button. That's why. There.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah. Sure, they're gonna get shot to shit. So I don't know. All right, let's see here. This guy will. Okay. I think that's all we're going to do with those guys right now.
Well, I mean, you can't go back to them later.
No.
So, are you? So you're done with them?
Yeah, no, I just need to put the assault marker.
Oh, where are you assaulting something?
This guy.
So he doesn't have enough movements points to assault.
Sure he
across the
did.
line.
He was right here. He was right here.
Right. He doesn't have enough movement points to assault across the Landgraben. Right?
Oh, that's enough. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't see that. So, yeah, so he's no assaulting. So, yeah, right.
That's
Got
all right.
it.
You
Okay.
can blow me to pieces with your fine Russian musketry.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, there we go. So,
all right.
and
so,
we're going.
So move 14
So, yeah,
is
now
done?
we're done there. So,
Okay.
let's go down to the questions here. So, we're going to.
Now, did you check to see if people are out of order or out of command? I seem to think that there might have been some something going on here, or maybe not.
Are you going to stop the clock then for a minute?
Yeah.
You're going to require him to
Oh
check
no,
that
I'm
stuff.
gonna burn up all of his time. Come on. So let's see. Zythan's with the bright light blue people. He's with the green
command.
people.
I already put the out of command stuff on last turn.
Okay.
Yeah, so these guys are, everybody here is in command. You can see how they're all connected.
Yeah, I was just double checking because I know you'd had some issues with it before.
Oh, no, I've got it down now where I know who's who. I can tell, I can see, I just zoom in on it. I can see the green and blue now.
Okay. All right.
Better than
well,
before.
that's good. All right, I'm resuming the clock, David. All right, go ahead and do stuff. Which brigade are you going to move first?
We're going to move this one first.
Okay, so that's the light blue people.
Yeah. So they're going to come down. This guy's coming down 1, 2, 3, 4. And he's going to go 5 to there. And then an assault marker on that guy.
So he's attacking this way.
Yeah, that way, right?
Okay.
And then that guy's going up there. And he's going to be assaulting that guy.
Okay.
You're like going, okay, what are you doing? Well, whatever I can. So then this guy's coming up to here. There's a loss. And they're going to assault too. So put an assault marker on that guy eventually. And
well, go ahead and mark it now. It's easy enough to do.
oh, that's right. I can get it out of there. All right, put that guy there. This guy. Gonna go there. Didn't mean to turn the unit. I meant to turn the assault marker.
Well, it does. I mean, it doesn't matter. You can change facing without any cost.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So it wouldn't trigger opportunity fire. But we do need to make note that this guy was a short.
Oh yeah,
charge.
we need to. Yeah, they don't have those black assault markers, do they?
I don't know. You
I don't
keep
think
moving
they do.
stuff, and maybe somebody will find one. I thought that they had an assault marker that was a roll to close marker or something. Yeah, roll to close. So that's the marker we want to use instead. That way you know you've got a -6.
3. It's actually 3.
Oh, I don't know what it is. It's -6, -3. I seem to think it was a -6.
Yeah. Well, then this guy is gonna. How much time do I have left?
You got 4 minutes.
Obviously. That thing is assaulting this guy there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we need to move. All that onto here. Okay. I think I got enough movement over there for right now.
Okay.
So let's come down. So this guy was in command down here, this brigade commander. He was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He was 6. 6-2 there.
Von Prussian, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, Prussian, yeah.
Yeah, so you can move him. He was within range of the corps commander.
These are all coming up here. This guy is going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we're gonna move them back here to 11. Over there. Like that. And then this guy is gonna come 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There. So there. I think that was it.
Okay. Go ahead and I guess now we would move over to who's next, Albert?
Okay, I'll go.
Okay, so give me a second to zoom out a little bit and move over to your side. So you've got which moves are we looking at?
Those moves are up around redoubt number 5.
Okay, so move number 1 is what, the light infantry, and
Yes.
move number 2 is a bunch of the other infantry. Is that correct?
Line.
Okay, cool.
That's correct.
So which one do you want to go first?
I'll do number 1 first.
Okay.
Okay, ready? Start
Sure.
the clock.
Oh yeah. Thanks for reminding me.
Okay.
So are you done moving Mu number 1?
Yeah.
Okay. So now,
Yeah, because they're all the rest of them are out of command.
okay.
Okay. All right, I guess I've got one here that I can, oh, that's the leader. Okay. Okay, and let's see. Okay. Okay, these Grinzers.
All right. Are you done with Mu number 1?
Yep. Dude, I'm done with everything.
Okay. Cool. All right. That just so I'll stop the clock here and reset it then. So David, it's your turn for action and adventure. So you've got, how many moves do you have?
1 move.
All right, and that's Hesse Homburg, and that's, what does that include? That's,
It's controlling this division and this division.
okay, cool. All right, go ahead and have your way.
All right, so we got, let's start on the right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rotate 6. There, 6, 7.
Okay.
So this one goes. Three, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3. here. Go on. Here. Here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Five. And unlimber.
All right, I'll take a shot at you. So it's 16 to 6. So it's going to be.
Are you going to be able to take a shot at each one of those as they unlimber?
I can take a shot at your guns as they unlimber because they're using movement points in my ZOC, right? So I get it's an opportunity.
Well, I
fire.
might. Okay.
So it's
I'm
6 to.
I'm debating maybe. I didn't under.
6 to 6 to or 16 to 6.
Well,
2.5.
do you want to do that, David, or you want to do
It's
something
a
else?
61 at 2.5 to 1.
He already rolled.
Yeah. So 2.5. See, it's a single hit. So you would scratch 1 increment.
From the infantry, right?
No, from the artillery. It's the top unit. It's what's unlimbering, and so the top unit in the stack suffers the result. Now, if I fire at them next turn in the defensive fire phase, then the infantry could soak off a hit.
All right. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, and I want him 6. All right. Where are we going? I'm going to debate on the other one. So this one was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh
6.
boy, what a grievous error.
You made one, L?
Yeah, I forgot all about one of my EMUs. That the heck guy.
Oh, we can go back to it, Albert. Don't worry
1,
about it.
2, 3. Yeah. 4, 5. Somehow I got him figured out he was going to make it over there. 6 now. All right. So that's. All right. One, 2, 3, 4. Into line. 5. One, 2, 3, and now you'll be able to get a shot at this because he's going to turn.
It doesn't cost movement points for him to turn in 5th edition. So.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't get a shot there.
Yeah, I'll get a shot at him during defensive fire phase, but not during his movement phase here.
I don't.
All right, 1.
Really, if he's got this guy in your front, you can't turn your guns.
But I've got
Ireland.
I've got an infantry unit right behind him. That's what I'm talking
Oh,
about.
there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's provided, the infantry doesn't have a better target.
There. Or he is going. Oh, wait a minute. this one I want into here, and this one is going into that spot there.
So they need to face a hex vertex, right? Since
Yeah.
they're in.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, one more.
Yeah, you're off. You're like in a column. There you
There we
go.
go. Yep.
Yeah.
And I don't have a column, so this one's going here. This one's going here. This one's going here. This one's going there. 3, 4, 5 there. 3. 4. 1. That. 1, 2, 3, 5. What's the time?
You got approximately 2 minutes.
1, 2, 3. Unlimber. And what do I do with him? I'll try it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right.
Moving across that little bridge. I don't know that it
So I'm
costs you
trying to
that
figure out
much
if
because
Yeah.
your artillery
Yeah,
is
it
by
doesn't-
default in road mode, right? So what's it say for a bridge? It's just +1 for artillery.
So. Yeah, where did I start there?
I want to say you're somewhere down
Okay.
here.
Yep, he was that one.
So it would cost you
1, 2,
5 to
3,
get there.
4, 5. Oh, I can't on that. All right. All right, I'll just bring him into here. And I think that is it.
All right. Hey, are you gonna assault him up here?
With
Here? With this guy?
It's pretty hard to
At
do
least
that.
one, yeah.
It's pretty hard to do that because it costs 3 to go across that.
Not
wall.
here. This is the backside.
Oh, and
Oh, yeah.
time is up, guys. That was your 10-minute mark. Albert,
Yeah. Now, what-
it's your turn.
Yeah.
Do
I'll
I
just
have
go
to mark
back.
that as an assault right now?
Yeah.
Okay, then that's an assault, yes. I
Okay.
wouldn't put him there if it wasn't.
Oh, you could have just surrounded him to give him a friendly warning there.
Okay, Eric, I'm going to
To
move
leave.
this.
To leave.
Exactly.
I'm
Okay.
going to move this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Wait.
6.
I thought you were moving Hecht.
This is Hecht. Hecht is number 6 here, but he's exhausted. But this guy is in command.
Which guy's in command?
The 1714 right here.
So why does he have an out of command marker on him?
Does he? Oh, well, that was. I don't know why he has that on there because he's 3 away. See.
I can see that, but I'm just wondering.
I think that's
if
from previous.
Okay.
Oh, he had that from where he came up and to that point
Okay.
because he was down below. Okay, he regrouped to that point. And I forgot to take the command off of him.
Sure.
Okay, so then he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and he will be that way with his bosses brought up.
So he'd actually be back one more, Albert. It costs 3 for the artillery to move. I mean, for cavalry to move across the bridge.
Okay, 3.
So he'd just be one back.
Okay, right there. All right, that's it. That's what I forgot.
Okay, no worries. So now we would go to defensive fire. So Albert, since we're on this part of the map, let's just work on our defensive fire over here first. So we've got these guys that are in square in the buildings. So we can fire, I guess, we can fire one there, and one there, and one there for what it's worth. So let's start off with this one here. It's going to be 5 to, what are you, 12 or 13? What's the defense here?
It's a fire defense there.
It's 14.
14. Okay, so 5 to 14.
5 to 14.
Basically 1 to 3. I got to roll 65 or 66. Nope. And then here against those guys, it's 5 to 8. Well, that's a hit, so that's going to suppress them.
Okay. Suppression. What are we using for suppression?
Oh, actually, wait. No, because it's musket fire. Because it's musket fire, it would be, you'd have the same defense as skirmisher. So a 63 is a miss.
Okay.
Right? We were playing with that rule. All right. Okay. And then over here, it's the same thing, and that's a miss. Okay. And then these chaps can fire here and here, and they've got 5 as well. So 5 to
14 again, 1 to 3.
Nope. And then these guys are in mass, but they've got less than 7 increments, so they're the fire defense of 9. So it's going to be 5 to 9, and that's a miss. All right. Do you want to conduct all your shooting over there while we're at it, Al?
Well, why don't we just go ahead and do your firing of your artillery over here. It's also defensive fire.
Okay.
Let's just finish it up.
Okay. So,
and you've got one down here in Feldschlossen.
Oh, Feldschlossen.
That's against me.
So, let's start here with our guns. We will fire. We'll fire on this hex here. Whoops! Why do I keep pulling up the wrong thing? Right there. So it's 16 to 14, 1 to 1.
Okay, all right.
Shifted to 1.5 to 1 for canister, and that's a hit.
Ooh, it's a hit. Uh-oh.
Hit and a morale check.
Okay, and so I lost 1, and I'll have to collapse, I guess.
No, because it's simultaneous.
Oh, okay.
Fire. Yeah,
I go to 3 in that hex, I think. So let's see.
So just
then,
roll for his morale check, and then we won't move him until we're done with everything else over there.
Okay, he got a 65. He really enjoys it there.
He does.
Okay.
All right, and then the little Feldschloss folks, they can fire on these guys here. So I don't know what their printed value is. Probably something trivial.
No,
6.
he's not in a...
He's in general order.
Okay. He's in general order. Okay, yeah, got it. Okay.
So he can fire that way. So it'll be 6 to 6.
6 to mass, yeah.
Yeah. 1 to 1. And that's a miss. Okay. All right. So now do you want to catch up on all your shooting before we move to the next sector?
All right. So the guy in mass is a 6, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got a couple of we've got 2 3s in skirmish order. So they're each a 9. So that's 18 plus 6 is 24 to whatever you are there.
So this guy here has lost a unit. Is he still 3?
I think, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That guy is Schlossen. Is that a village?
It's it's like a village.
Yeah, so it's general ordered terrain.
Yeah, 12. So you got a 12.
Yeah, fire defense of 12.
So I think it's 22 to 1, right?
Well, you've got 6
24
plus
to 12.
18. Yeah, it's 24 to 12. It's a 2 to 1. Roll your dice, move your mice.
Okay.
62 at 2 to 1
62.
is a palpable hit. And so we will mark him as slightly more dead. All right, where are you shooting next?
How about his, didn't he go on evens?
I'm sorry, what's the question?
Check morale?
Don't I wish. These the French at Dresden are checking on odds, just like the Austrians and the Prussians.
Oh, okay.
You're
Right.
thinking Moscow.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we go up here to the redoubt.
Okay.
Where we have, I think we've got a. Okay, let's see. It's this guy.
You still get
okay.
about Al in that unit that took the hit. Because
What?
remember, it's simultaneous.
Yeah, no, we know that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I did. I treated
sure
it.
Al was remembering.
They're in mass anyway. No, wait a minute. The guy that took the hit.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
skirmisher.
Yeah, right. We counted him as in there. So now we've got flip him over. I think he's a 4. So that's a 2. We've got this guy who is a 3. Or he's a 3.
2 hexes, Al. Oh no, he's taking
I think
a hit.
it's
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, he's taking a hit. So yeah.
So you got 5 increments so far.
And we've got another 3 up here.
Oh, you
Okay.
got 4
So you've
left.
got-
You didn't take that hit.
We haven't counted that
So I've
one,
got-
John. Just hang on a second. So you've got 8
And then
so
this
far, and then
guy.
you've got 4 for that guy. So you've got 12 increments of Grenzers. So 12 times 3 is going to be 36.
36.
To 20. So that's going to be a 1.5
1.5
to 1
1.
shot.
Yep, here we go. Oh,
And
11. Okay. All right.
So nothing
That's
there.
absolutely nothing. So then we'll go up further up. And I think we've already determined that this is a like a wants to be 1 to 1, but it's not quite there. 18 to 20, I think. 6
Yeah.
plus yeah. So that's a 1 to 1.5. But it's
52.
not enough.
That's not enough.
Not enough.
Okay.
And then up here with the artillery, we've got 10 plus
No, you
each
don't
one of
have
these
10
guys.
because you're firing on a special structure. You don't get the close range benefit.
I get the 5.
Well,
Oh, Tom and I
I haven't had to look at this, but I seem to recall. Now maybe I'm thinking
I-
of.
I'm not sure that's in this game though.
Yep, I don't think it is in this game.
Oh, is
Yeah, I
that
think
a Linny thing that I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
I think it is, yeah.
Lenny and then Lutzen.
Mount St. Jean.
Yeah, they fire. They don't have it in here.
Well, let's take a look and see.
3.
So you could very well be correct. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Okay, so I've got 7 Grenzers. 21.
Okay, so here it is.
Plus
It's
that-
on the fire defense chart. Artillery attacking walled farm, churches, palaces, or bastion hexes may only use their long-range fire value. They do not get canister benefit if adjacent. So it's on the defensive fire table. It's maybe
Yeah, they get
the
point-
5th things down. So they don't get the point blank benefit.
Okay,
So
so they're hardly worth having in there, boy. Okay, so I've got 21 in terms of the Grenzers, and another 2. So it's a 1 to 1.
So you have 7 factors of Grenzer.
Right. I rolled a 30.
So this guy here should be in 1 hex.
Oh, yeah, he went down. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Put
So
him
you've
in the
got
other one because that's the one he shot at before.
yeah.
But
So it's a 1-to-1 shot.
I already rolled in a 34.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So we're done with our defensive fire on your side of the world, Albert.
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
This
All
guy
right.
back
Now
over.
we move over to David. So let's see here. I've got defensive fire here. I'll fire those guys on you there. So it's going to be a 1-to-1 shot. And 42 is a miss. Then we've got these guys here. And they're probably also a 6. So it's also a 1-to-1 with a +1. And that's a hit.
morale check of 51.
Okay. All right. Now let's see here. We've got a bunch of guys all piled up. And these guys, how many increments are there? Oh, just 2 in each. So I can go a 1-to-1 shot there and a 1-to-1 shot there. So for the first guy, that is a miss. And for the second guy, that is also a miss. And then here, these guys, I presume, are probably also 6s, but let's just check. Oh, we flipped over the wrong thing. Yep, they're also 6s. So we'll do a 1-to-1 shot here with a +1. And that's a miss. All right, and then over here we've got our guns that can fire. So we might as well take a shot right here. So you've got a defense of 6, and it's 16 to 6. It's another 2.5 to 1 shot, and that is a miss any way you slice it. And then my square can fire here, so that's going to be 9 to 14, and that is a hit, possibly. 1 to 1.5. Yeah, 56 is a hit. On your first Jaeger battalion.
So marked and morale check.
So just put a marker on him, and then you can move after you've done with your fire. All right. It's time for you to shoot back.
All right. So it was kind of useless to bring up that artillery. I thought they were more effective at that, but they're not. So he's only going to add 2 to it, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. He'll only be able to add his long distance and no bonus. Hey, but you got lots of artillery. Yeah, you could spare a little bit here and there, right?
All right. So I'm not sure this calculator. Okay. So the skirmisher shoots what, in increments?
So they can shoot up to, well, whatever he is,
Right.
it would be half, but up to 3 maximum per hex.
So he says 7. He's now to 6, but he's 7, and so it's 3 and 3 a hex.
Yep, 3 and 3.
And here, that's 3 increments there and 3 increments in there.
But aren't those things? Those are redoubts, though, aren't they?
Yeah.
Not bastions. These are bastions here.
Right. The redoubt has a defense of 20.
Yeah, but it doesn't. The long range thing only says that about bastions, not redoubts.
Okay, so you get benefit against the redoubt.
Yeah.
So what is it?
So you'd
What's he
add
get
4
for
in for that
14?
guy.
Well,
So you've got.
he
So the
took a loss.
He had 14 in for him.
He would have 7 only because he took a loss.
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
got, all right, so I got 6 units in these Grenzers or whatever, and I got 6 in the skirmishers.
Okay.
So that's, or what, times 3?
So your units in line are times 2. So you've got 6 increments of those little Grenzers. That's going to be 12 points. Then if you add in 7 for your artillery, that's going to bring it up to 19. And then you have 6 times 3. You've got 18 with your skirmisher, your Jaegers, right? Unless the Jaegers are something different. No, the Jaegers are times 3. So you're going to have 19 plus 18. That's going to be 37. 37 to 20 is going to be 1.5 to 1, shifted to 2 to 1 for canister.
Big hit.
43 at 2 to 1 is a hit. But how do we handle this?
Well, your gunners take a hit, right?
Yeah, they would take a hit. So they're going to take an increment loss. All right. What's next?
All right, so let's go down.
So when the gunners take a hit, does that mean the batteries have now?
I don't know. We can look that up before I shoot at you again.
Okay.
Because the gunners are different than the guns.
Yeah, I don't know whether half the gunners could keep up the rate of fire or not.
Well, we're just going
Who
to
knows?
roll the guns down the hill at you. That's the way to do it. All right, what's next, David?
All right, so we'll go on down the line here to.
Here's what it says.
Before we do that, go ahead and move your disordered guy. The one that disordered just recently.
Lose half, right? So.
Yeah,
Hey,
so
you guys.
He's just going to be in 1 hex, and then.
Right, he goes to
yeah.
1 hex, 2, 3, 4.
All right, so
Hey,
John,
you
what's your
guys.
question?
Okay, I have a question. It says fixed artillery positions on the game map are manned by 2 counters. One counter represents the actual cannon, and while the other represents the gunners that work the guns. So, if all the gunners are killed or run away, the gun remains abandoned. So, it doesn't really say about what happens if it takes a hit.
I think that it's given the spirit of how we've played something like this before. I would think that the gunfire would be halved. It's kind of what makes sense.
So,
yeah. So until somebody says something otherwise, let's go with that.
Okay.
All right. What's next?
Well, what's the effect of these chevaux de frise?
You can only assault with 6 increments. So it basically limits how many increments you can come charging in. They don't have any effect on the on fire combat, but you're shooting across the little rubble wall, and I'm in city. So I have a fire defense of 20. I've got a fire defense of 22.
All right, so I shoot with the printed, so it's 10 for the 2 of them there.
Yeah, so 10 to 22, so it's going to be 1 to 2.5.
Does that do anything?
What did you roll? I didn't see anything.
I know. Is it even worth rolling?
Oh yeah, I mean, you if you rolled a 64 or better, you'd get a hit. So
I'm gonna need new shoes.
Oh, that was a good roll, but not good enough.
All right. Now, what do the skirmishers get over here in this?
So the skirmishers, well, are you combining fire on the hex, or how are you divvying up your shooting?
Sure, yeah. That's depends on what I can get out of it. What's the
So
defensive
I would have skirmisher in the cultivated is 16, and because you're shooting across the wall, I have a defense of 18. So I don't know what year. So it's probably it's 10 to 9. It's 10 to 18. So it's the same sort of thing.
Well, this is actually 4, so this one here is 4.
Oh, so it's 9 to 18. So it's a 1 to 2.
9 to 18, 1 to 2.
Yeah.
All right. So big roll. Nope.
No.
No. All that trouble calculating it all. Oh well.
I'm just gonna roll the other one here. And
No.
I was okay. So now let's fire on your gun here. So
Okay.
all right.
I'll let you add all that up.
How do they work in line? So they only get 4, right?
Yeah, so they could have a total of these two units could have 8 and 8. So that's going to get you 16 for each. So that's going to get you 32. And then this guy is whatever his printed value is 5. So that's going to be 37. And that guy's got a printed value, whatever that is. Probably another 5. So that's going to get you 40, what, 40, 42?
2 to 1.
Yeah. And that's going to be a hit.
Knocked out some more gunners.
There you go. All right. And I don't think you had anybody else left to shoot, did you?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So now we move over to...
unless this guy's... I got that artillery piece. I don't know if he's got a shot at anything. Let me check that one.
What artillery piece is that, David? Oh, this one that's over here that you unlimbered? Okay.
Yeah. So he's got a shot there, right?
Sure. Yeah.
It's probably not worth it. And again, that's...
What about the square? Square, David.
Oh, yeah. Square?
Yes. Oh, that's a good target. Yes.
Yeah, so that would
Shooting
be
the square.
That's a 1-to-1.
Okay, shoot that one.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. More power to you.
Shoot the square.
That's a miss.
Yeah.
Mark off some ammo.
Okay. Oh, ammunition.
I forgot to mark off my ammo.
Okay. And the last part is this assault.
Well, so wait, let me do... Well, yeah, we might as well finish up your assault over there. That way we're done with your sector, and then we can move on to John's sector for everything. So...
Again, this is the first assault I've ever done. So, hey.
Well, what was it? Yesterday, what was it?
My first cavalry charge.
Cavalry charge, and now the first assault. We're so proud our little Dave is all grown up. So I don't know. It's general order, so I don't have to make a morale check. You make a morale check, and you tell me what happens.
Is that how that works? Okay, so I make
a 12. But now you're going to have a benefit because you're coming in. So you'd have a plus 12 because it's more than 5-to-1 odds. So your 12 would become a 32. What's your morale?
I think I'm 20-something here. So.
Nope, it's a 31. So you
just made it.
Yeah, you just made it, yeah. So it's in all likelihood going to be, so if I'm half dead, I have 2, and you've probably got more than that. So it's going to be a 5-1, which means that it's automatic. There's no way I can survive. So that's going to remove that gun and that gunner from combat for the moment.
Good work, David.
Now, did the gunner get killed?
Yeah.
Yes.
There was no way he
All right.
could have done otherwise. So I'm just keeping these guys as they're dead over here in the Elbe. They're swimming. They're on their way to Valhalla.
You got some spare gunners, right?
I've got
took a
I've got
swing
spare
at-
gunners. So so there's no point in me putting
If you were ever to get that back, you could move a spare gunner into there.
Correct. Yeah, and the guns, I just took the gun marker off because it when John was doing stuff, it got tangled up with his units. So you can advance into that hex with your chap that assaulted.
And is it my choice?
No, because
have
you
to.
did. You have to
Oh, you
go
have
in
to, I think.
because it was successful. It was vacated as a result of melee, as opposed to a a failed morale check or something.
Okay.
All right, take your assault marker off. All right, now we move over to John's sector. So let's take a look here. Let's start
The
at the
dead bodies are.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll start up at the top like we usually do. So I've got 9 to whatever, 14.
Yeah.
Oh, that might be a hit.
And I'm going to step away for a sec and replenish my drink.
Yep. So this guy just got hit.
He might be out of it now.
I don't know how many increments he's got left. He's got 1 increment left. And he's got 5 hits on him. Yeah, there's not much left. All right, why don't you shoot back? You'd have 4 to my 14.
Yeah, well, I got to really fire.
Actually, you can't even shoot him anyway because it's less than a 1 to 3 shot.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, other people that are adjacent. Let's go ahead. We'll fire here on that chap. So I think I've got 2 increments left there. Yeah. So that's going to be 6 to 9 on these musketeers. 55. That's a great shot, but is it enough? Yes, it is. A single hit on your musketeers.
Yes, 9. Oh wow. So you had 2 left?
Yep, so it's 6 to 9, so that's 1 to 1.5, correct? Yeah, so that's a 55 is 1 hit on the second Kaloga. All right, then we got a whole bunch of other people charging in here, so we will take half of these guys and fire them there. So let's see what I got. I've got basically 2.5 times 3, so that's going to be about 7. 7 to 6, a 1-to-1 shot on those boys, and that is a miss. And then we can combine fire. These guys and these guys will fire there, and I think it's the same thing where I've got 2.5. So it's altogether it's 15. 15 to 6. It's a 2.5 to 1 shot on the Silesians. And that's what I was afraid of. That's a miss. All right, now with these poor chaps, let's see what would be a good shot. Well, we might as well fire here. See if we can tip them into being half dead. So it's a 1-to-1 shot. I'm sure I've got 8 to 6, 1-to-1, and that's a miss. And I don't think we have anything else that's adjacent. So it's your turn.
So we'll fire I'm sure. I think these guys. Let's see. They have 8. So these guys have right here. They have 1 increment left.
Correct. So they've got
So,
3 points.
So all right. So Musketeers. Man, they really suck in line too. So.
So you gotta have
got
8
3.
plus 3, you got 11 to 14.
Yeah. What will happen? 51.
That's close. 8 to 14. Nope, it's not close enough. So, all right. Next target.
Next. So then we've got the rifles, 2 rifles.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy's 6, and these rifles are going to be Prussian Jaeger, Schützen. So they're going to be 4. So 8. So
you can't combine the Schützen with this guy. So what you'd want to do is the Schützen can fire there, and then this guy can fire there. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that's what we'll just start with the top guy up here first then.
Yeah. So he's
which
got
is not going to be
6
much
to,
of a shot.
6 to 14, whatever. Okay.
Yeah. 64.
So 6 to 14 is 2.5 to 1. That is a hit. So let's go ahead and mark that. All right, and let's make a morale check for these guys. And they pass. All right, next shot is going to be 8 to 14.
Ooh, another 64.
That's another hit. There's not going to be much left at this stage. So, oops, I went the wrong way. All right, and there we go. So that chap is going to retreat there. And I got to make a morale check. Oh, he's going to disorder. So let's see here. Let's mark him with a disorder marker. And disorder. Okay, so he's going to go. He doesn't have a lot of options. So he's going to have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's about as far as he can get from where he's at. So this chap here will have to make a morale check with a -6. Oh, and he's going to disorder also.
That sucks.
Well, that's what happens. 1, 2. Yeah. He'll go there. That's as far as he can kind of go. Okay. All right. Who's next?
So now we've got that guy firing on him.
Mm-hmm.
How long will my luck hold out here?
Well, you've been pretty good so far.
Yeah, so that doesn't work. So okay, so now we've got these guys here. I want to think these guys are 5, not 6. Yeah, 5. That's regular infantry, so there's 6. That's 11.
So John, I'm losing you.
John, your voice is going away.
I'm sorry. So we've got 5 here, 6 here. So we got 11, and then another 5.
So you got 16 to. So it's 2.5 to 1.
2.5 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Hey,
61.
That's going to be a hit. So let's go ahead and mark him. All right. Got anything left?
My artillery.
Okay. Where are you going to shoot?
I got to see. One of these leaders I know was a special ability guy. So see here. Not him. Him.
Okay.
All right. So we'll take this gun here,
Mm-hmm.
this gun here,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll fire on that guy here. So that's a wall, right? A crumbled wall or something?
Yeah, it's a rubble wall, so I'm going to have a defense of 18.
18.
I'm pretty sure. Well, let me double check. Yeah, so it is general order terrain. Oh, I'm in, so it's 12. It's going to be 14.
Okay, so I've got.
Now, my only question is, can you, because the intervening targets are closer to me than they are to you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I at least for the moment, I think it's blocked. I don't know that you
It's
can fire
blocked.
or anything. Yeah.
So even like, okay, so these guys are closer to you, yeah.
Right.
Try the over where the 8-7 is and stuff.
Everything's blocked because, well,
Yeah, the redoubts right here, so that's blocking stuff, and he's got infantry all over the place.
Yeah.
So that's the problem, John. If you just stayed back, you could have fired at me. But no, you had to come forward with your assault, I tell you.
Hey, move always forward.
You're
So
cutting
now-
out again, John.
Oh, sorry. So now this guy right here. So
Yeah.
now we have our assaults. So
Yep.
this guy right here.
Yeah, so
I think because
my guy vacated during the fire phase, you have the option to either advance into the hex or not. You don't have to make a morale check.
I can make another assault though in this particular case.
I don't know. I don't know what the rules are on that. I'd have to look it up here.
Yeah,
I do know that normally, if it's vacated because of fire, you could advance into the hex. I don't know that you can make pick a new target though, but we can take a look and see what it says.
The reason was the time when you had.
So let's see here. Definition of an assault. The active player defines an assault, or active player eligible to retreat before combat. Measures do, blah, blah, blah. So it says, likewise, an empty hex may be assaulted if the hex that had been the target of assault became empty due to offensive fire, the defending unit being eliminated due to casualties or disordering out of the hex as a result of a failed morale check triggered by the attack. Simply move the assaulting unit forward into the vacant hex during the assault phase. It may not initiate a second assault. So they
may not.
Yeah. So you could move them in to that vacated hex with that Landwehr unit.
Into that vacated hex. Yeah, but I don't think I want to do that though.
Okay, so take your assault marker off and figure out the next thing.
These guys are in line. Those guys. I'm trying to figure out what I should do. Hang on a second. Sitting here with your artillery firing at me, and I can't do shit. And then these guys fire at me. Where these guys, I'm gonna come into that hex there.
Okay.
So I'll have them sitting there for all those funny games. Okay. So now we've got this guy. Sorry, here.
Sure.
So you're stand, or you're gonna.
Oh, interesting question. Should I stand or should I retreat? Well, I could retreat before combat. And if I did, you couldn't advance unless you made a morale check. And I can move back 2 hexes back here. And be right here behind the square. So that's what I'll do. So, do you want to?
Yeah, I'm going to try.
Okay, so now remember, we pointed out, and Tom pointed out, that if they fail, they would disorder.
Now, do we calculate odds? Are odds calculated here or not? That's another thing.
Yeah, they would be. So you would have it's 2 to 1, right? Because you have 6 to my 2.5.
Yeah.
So you'd have 2 to 1, but I don't know that adds a whole hell of a lot to your.
No, it doesn't. I think only 3.
No, it doesn't add anything to it.
Doesn't add anything to it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just a straight up 2 to 1. I mean, it's just a straight up morale check for your Landwehr.
Yeah. I think they'll stay.
Okay. Go ahead and remove the marker.
Not like the Prussians, but hey, whatever. We'll do it.
All right. Now, before we get too carried away, the guys that are part of the 3-7 reserve, they actually have to make their morale check. They should have made their morale check, I think, during the movement phase with the rolling to close thing. These guys here were right next to me.
All it is it's just it's a negative rolling to close is a negative. Hang on a second, it's right here, and I'll tell you. It's just added to their
Right, but you're supposed to do that because it's happening right at the moment of your movement. They make their morale check first, and it is a -6. But it says this is in addition to any other modifiers that may apply to the morale check: leader present, assaulting a flank, etc. So those guys are just going to make a straight up roll with a -6. And if they pass, then they'll join in with the assault with everybody else. And then I'll make my morale check based on the combined everything. If they fail, they'll disorder away, and then I'll make my morale check based on the other guys. So go ahead and roll and see if they pass muster. So that's going to be a 23.
Oh, they're not going to make it. Okay, hang on a second. Where is that? Oh, there's Brad. One, two, three.
Okay. All right. So now we'll make a morale check. I've got 6 increments, and you've got 7 plus another 7. You've got 14. So it's 2 to 1. So that's a -6 for me. I did take a loss in the preceding fire segment. So that would be a -6 total for my troop. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Here we roll the dice. 36 -6 will become a 26. And I've got a morale of 16. So
you're good.
Yep. So now you will make your morale check. There's no pluses for you, so it's just a straight up roll. Well, there's one guy that disorders.
Well, let's just go left to right. So, like we're reading. So,
Yep.
All right. So this guy right here.
So he is actually going to rout because he's adjacent to enemy cavalry. So put a route marker on him and send him packing.
Three, 4, 5, 6. Whoop! Come here. Well, that sucks.
Well, you were lucky with. Weren't you lucky with enough things already?
Yeah, I think so. I guess
Yeah,
so.
I think so. All right,
Yeah.
and then your other chap. Yeah. So don't complain. All right, and the other boy.
Watch them all run off like a bunch
Nope,
of girls.
he
Oh, there
passed.
we go. We made it. Okay.
All right, so let's do our numbers. Doot, 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 doot. So I have 18 and you have less than 18. So it's going to be a 1 to 2 on the assault table.
It looked like such a promising assault, and it all fell apart. All right.
22 is attacker disordered. So you are going to disorder, take a loss, and move back half your movement.
I can't go this way, can I?
No, because you'd be passing. I mean, you'd be going through my ZOC, so he should retreat back the other way. Yeah.
Yeah, the way you went. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could move him through the skirmisher, so he'd go 1, 2, 3. He'd end up here next to the guy that was.
Yeah, but
Right.
doesn't the skirmisher then have to check?
Nope. You can units can move over the top of squares and skirmishers without suffering the morale check. We already talked about that. We talked about that weeks ago.
We have. Well, like I said, it's hard for me to wrap my head around that. Because, like in most of the regs and stuff, you can't do that.
Yeah.
So, all right, cool.
All right.
Slightly
So
successful, slightly not.
that is. So now what we need to do is remove the charge markers, and then you guys would roll for, recovery and all that stuff. So why don't we start on your side of the field, John? I'll remove the charge marker from my cavalry. Is that how we're doing it, guys? Or are we going to modify it? Albert?
Let's see. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I mean, over here where we had the charge, my exhausted goes away and your tired goes away, right?
Well,
Not until the
No.
next turn.
not until the next turn, right?
Oh, okay.
We're
But
removing. Yes, you would be
my
fully
exhausted
ready.
goes away.
Your exhausted would go
My
away.
exhausted
But we're
goes
not.
away.
we're on John's side of the field right now. So,
Okay. All right. I'll wait.
John,
I'll
let's
wait.
go ahead. Yeah. So John, let's go ahead and.
So let me get this straight then. So what we're doing is the bubble comes off both people at the end of the turn.
No, we decided just to stick with what we've been playing, and then we've got 2 weeks to figure out if we want to make any changes. So at least for today, we're doing everything the way the way it had been, where it comes off at the end of somebody's. It comes off at the end of the active player's turn, which is what we'd been doing previously. Now I'll still be tired. I won't have the tired marker come off until whenever my next turn is, but not this turn because they meleeed this turn in the 12 o'clock hour. Yeah.
Yep, got that. All right, so here, let's just start down here with this guy over here. We're rolling for him.
The guy in Streisand.
64, I think he would have made that.
He might. With a minus 12, that's going to be a 44. Even the Landwehr will come back after that.
And then we go with this guy.
Okay. Nope.
So he's just gonna you go 1, 2, 3, 4, go.
He would avoid the bridges. He would go down this way some way. Yeah.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, 6. Is that what this guy is? Oh, nope, 7. So we'll go to there. 7. Okay. Then that cavalry that charged, that I didn't see that you had cavalry in there.
So can it recover? So so the question is, we were looking at when stuff comes off. So does the charge marker come off before or after all of your other stuff? That being the case, if the charge marker is still on it, you couldn't rally it until next turn. So upon completion of the activity, player removes his charge markers and reorganizes his disorder. So you take the charge marker off, and so you are able to try to rally him.
I think he makes it.
Oh, yeah.
Flip him over the right way. All right. Then this guy over here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I'll keep going.
I'm going to keep running.
So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then all these disordered units. So there's a disordered unit up here.
Sure. Okay.
He's makes
back.
it. And then I thought I saw another one. Oh, there he is, right there. Oh, he makes it. There's another one here. Oh, come on, fella. You're only so many good guys I have left. Okay. He makes it. Oh, I was reading a book about the Prussians today. They were saying that it was about quantity.
You're fading out.
Oh, I said I was reading a book today, and they were saying that about this period of time that the Prussians were about quantity, not quality. So
that is definitely evident.
Oh, okay. So there we go.
So now...
oh, wait a minute. There's more routed people down here.
Oh yeah.
So 43. I think that guy's going to make it.
A 33. It's your Landwehr cavalry. Who knows what they are? Survey says they're a 34. Really bad.
Yeah, they could have, yeah. Oh.
35. Just keep running. Well, remember, they're only moving a third, so they will retreat back, 4 hexes or something? Since they're exhausted.
4. Yeah, they're still exhausted. Okay. Then there's this guy right here.
Okay. Nah.
And he's in the village, so, but yeah.
It doesn't matter.
It's up.
Yeah. All right. Are you done on your side of the world, John?
I think so. I
Okay.
think that's good.
Cool. So now let's.
Ammunition recovery.
Say that, David?
Do you have any ammunition recovery?
Oh, no, true.
No, he
true.
doesn't. All of his stuff is better than 3.
Yep.
All right, David, you've got some recovery. You've got a disordered Jaeger.
We'll roll for this guy here.
A couple of
They're back.
And I think he's back.
So he's just going to be in column.
Now he's going to be in battalion mass.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And so he flips over and faces a vertex.
you got some rowdy guys.
Oh, yeah, he's got some routed cavalry. Doot, doot, doo.
So first the cavalry. What's he need? 24. Bam. And he continues.
Yep. So he's, let's see, 1, 2, 3,
He
4,
can't.
5.
He just has to get
Yeah.
out of.
All he has to do is
15.
just get into a little village, and then he'll be fine. He doesn't have to keep retreating anymore.
The
Then
guy
you've got
down
your
there,
Cossacks.
Oh, they're flipped over, but they shouldn't be. But
It's just for the
rolling for the
ease of...
Costas.
No.
Oh, and they don't do anything.
Okay. All right. Anything else exciting?
Let me think a second.
You would take the charge marker off of your
Cavalry.
cavalry. Yep.
And well, that nothing happens. But he's still tired because he charged, even though he didn't go very far.
Okay.
All right, Albert.
That's it for me.
Okay, Albert. It's your turn.
All right, I got this Grinzer that's is disordered in less than half. 45. I don't think that's going to help him any. He's a 33, so he's going to continue to go. I think he can go just back into this. Well, this orchard's not good enough. Where's he going to go? Orchard's not good enough terrain, I don't think. So.
Well, you've got to be more than 15 away, right?
I think I am 15 away, maybe.
Well, where
closest guy is up in field.
Oh, yeah.
Down, yeah.
So he just moved. Just move into general order train. So a little village will do.
I'll go over here, yeah. Okay, then I have these 2 disordered guys up near Bataille. Mm-hmm. One of them is a regular. I'll do the regular line guy first.
Sure.
He routes. Wait, didn't he? Okay, so he goes 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the other guy, who is a Grinzer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still challenged with my morale rolls.
Well, that happens.
Okay, so he'll go back 1. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 down to there. All right, that's it, I think.
Okay.
Take off the. I take off this.
You would take off your exhausted markers for anybody that did not move this turn.
Oh, let's see. Did your cavalry move?
Remember, we decided we were going to do where the charge marker comes off at the end of each player's phase. So that meant I would have been able to move in my phase. But I will still be tired until the end of my next movement.
Okay, so I'm exhausted. I get rid of the exhaust, both these exhaustions
Mm-hmm.
down here. Is that, yeah. Okay. All right, I think that's everything.
All right, exciting stuff. So let's go ahead and.
So let me get clear on that. The Peugeot moved, even though.
So,
yeah, you haven't moved yet, have you?
So remember last turn, the previous turn,
Yeah.
your marker had come off, right? Because you charged me. So we had removed it.
So okay.
So then that meant that we moved. And then we had all the discussion about stuff. And then I'm like, okay, well, if that's how we're going to do
then
it,
we
I'll
went
just
back.
move
Then we
Peugeot
went back.
And then you're like,
Oh,
no,
I see.
we'll just go with what we had before.
I got it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Peugeot would only be there if we had decided to change things up.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
So,
got it. Okay.
all right, everybody done with all of our fun allies? Yes? All right, let's go to the cup. So how are you guys doing for time?
10:30.
I don't know. We could stop here if you guys want to.
I mean, I have no problem. It's only 8:30 in my time, end of the universe.
I have no problem, but
Okay.
I'm fine. I don't care. But I know John gets tired.
Well, that's
What
what I'm banking on. I'm hoping he'll be totally exhausted, not be able to see anything. And all right, I'll go ahead and draw from the cup here. So it's the French. All right. So I do not have any charges as much as I would like to. So we will instead maneuver Peugeot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'll take the moo marker off of him. And can I take the tired marker off as well since I'm in the neighborhood? Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
We know that.
Yes. I appreciate that. Okay. Now, meanwhile, back over on the other end of the universe, we've got a couple of different moves to maneuver. So let's see. Let's start with.
Where are we at?
What'd you do with that other gun that you took out of the other redoubt there?
It's floating in the Elba.
There's only one there. Oh, there it is. He's underneath the other.
Yeah. So.
I didn't think iron floated that well. Okay.
Well, you would be surprised.
That's his pontoon gun.
Exactly. So, let me take a look here at our friends in Moo number 2. What can we do? What can we do in Moo number 2? So, I'm going to activate Moo number 2. So we will have these guys come out. That's going to cost me 3 and 4 to change into line, and then 5 to move there. All right. What else do I want to do? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's move this guy over here. Oh, now we'll move him right there. Okay, now, meanwhile, over here, we can have a little bit of fun. So these guys will come out, and we will mark them with an assault. Right there on those guys' flank. And what else can we do? These guys will come out. Let me rotate them slightly. Here. And we'll assault you in the flank here, like that. Whoops. All right, and this guy will move here. And that's everything. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, everybody is currently still in our range to do exciting things. So, actually, we'll move that guy right here. And we could have him assault there as well. Let's go ahead and let's be aggressive. They might be provisional troops, but, well, actually, no, we won't. We got to keep somebody alive here, don't we? All right, so we'll take that off. Okay, now let's move over to move number 1, which is over here, these chaps with General of Bernard. So we'll have these guys that are in the chevaux de frise. They'll change into road. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they will change into skirmish order. And we're going to rotate them slightly, like that. All right. Who else do we have to move here? So the chevaux de frise stays where it's at. Those guys will stay there. All right, and then the general and this troops will come out. They'll come out to play, and we'll come over. Where shall we go? We can go here. Those guys will go into line. And then General Bernard will be here with the skirmishers. All right, so that is it for move number 1. All right, now, did you guys have a question?
No.
Okay. All right, now we move over to move number 2, which is our friends, which is Saussures,
okay.
yeah, over here, Saussures Corps. So let's see what we can do here. So these chaps are going to go into skirmish, and they will go into skirmish here. And they are going to move right there, and they're going to assault that unit. Okay, now,
I got a question. The skirmishers would normally be at a disadvantage in assault. When they assault, they would have the same disadvantage, wouldn't they?
They would.
But there's only
But
one
when
increment
there's only
left
one
in that unit.
increment there, and if I can kill the unit and it's got Tippelkirch in it, he is gone. He's captured. So
But
it's worth
but
it. You
but
could
what I
retreat before
also-
combat. So,
Triple
all right.
script can retreat. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's going to go up, and so he'll change out of square, change back into square up here. This guy here can move right back in where he was before. Can he? You get opportunity fire as I go there. So as I move from this hex to that hex, this guy can take a shot at me. So it'll be 6 to 14.
Yeah, 13 doesn't do much.
Okay. All right. Let's see. These guys are pretty badly
You can
shot up.
get out of square, move, and then go back into square.
Yeah, so it costs 1 point to change formation. So I change out of square. That's my 1 movement point. I move forward 2 hexes and then went back into square. So I spent 3 movement points moving right there. Or I could have just moved 1 hex forward if I wanted to and stayed in square, but I wanted to move 2 hexes forward. So what do you know? Okay. What else do I need to do here? I've got some other people to move around. So that's still part of the 44th. Well, we'll just move this guy. Yeah, we'll just move him here and hope that he recovers. We'll leave this other guy there. And then we'll move this one guy up a little bit. All right, so I think that's it for the 44th. Everybody else has got to wait until regroup. Okay, meanwhile, over here with the 45th, these guys are just going to rotate. That doesn't cost any points, so we're fine. And let's shuffle around a little bit. So we'll have this guy here move back. So he can move there. This guy will move there. This guy will move in here. And all is good in the universe. Let's see. And then we had this guy. How much has he got left? No, he's got 4 still. So he was in skirmish order. Yeah, we'll just kind of leave him. We'll change him back into normal order. Or can we move him somewhere? It's going to be too much going across the Landgraben. So we're going to change him into normal order. And we will just leave him. Yeah, we'll just leave him right here where he might be able to do something exciting at some future point in time. Okay. Let's see. I think that is the extent of my moving ability. So, at this particular junction in time, it's time for defensive fire.
All right. It's going to start.
Well, Albert, things have been boring on your sector, so why don't we start down on your end of the universe?
Okay, let's start up here at the bastions or the chateaus.
The little farms, okay.
Okay. So we have 21 in Grinzer value. We have 7 times 3, and we have the artillery at 10.
No, the artillery is not at 10. The artillery is at 2.
I thought we decided that the rule was different, didn't we, John?
That is for the redoubts, right? The redoubts.
Oh, for redoubts.
Don't get the artillery.
Oh, okay.
back.
Well, I'm not going to charge. I'm not going to waste ammo for a 2. So So we'll go 1-to-1 on that thing.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And we've got a 1.5-to-1 below.
Okay.
15.
You're on a roll, Albert.
On a roll here. Okay, now we've got go over to the redoubt.
Sure.
And I'm only going to fire the 3 skirmishers that are, so they're a total of 27, I think. 9 times 3.
Yeah. So this one, this one, and this one, right?
Let's see. So do I need to? I got 3. If I did the 3 and 3, that's 6 times. That's only 18. So I'll do all 3 of them against that guy. Okay. So it's a 1-to-1, and that's a hit.
Yeah, it's not really 1-to-1, but it's still a hit. So,
yeah.
Okay. So that is an increment lost for those boys. Okay, what's next?
And we have this Grinzer that is 4. He'll fire on the 8-6.
Okay, so you've got.
So that's a 12 to 9. 12 to 9. 1-to-1.
That's a miss.
Yes. Okay, now we go down to Feldschlossen. So we've got 6 Grinzers. That would be 18. Plus another 24 to, I think it was a 2-to-1, right? 24 to 12.
24 to 12.
And that's another hit on him.
And that will be a morale check for those guys. They're half dead. Let's see what they do. 43 becomes a 33. Let's see where they're at. 31, they pass. So, okay. You got any more shooting, Albert?
I don't think I've got anything else.
Okay, then let me do my shooting in your sector before we forget. So I've got a 1 to 3 shot there and a 1 to 3 shot there. So on the first one, 52, not good enough. And on the second one, 36, not good enough. And then we've got a 1 to 2 shot there. I mean, a 1 to 3 shot there. Oh, that was a nice roll, but not good enough. And then here we've got a, I don't know what, something. 55. No, I don't think that's good enough. Right, because I've got, I think, what, 5 there? 5 to 9. What's 5
4
to 9?
Or no, you got 5.
Yeah.
5 to 9.
Actually,
1 to 2.
Yep. It's
1 to 2, Eric.
Yeah, it's a miss.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I've got my guns. I'll just fire on whom? I'll fire on these guys, I guess. So 16 to 14, 1-to-1. Shifted to 1.5 to 1. And that's a miss. All right, then I've got these guns can fire on those guys. So that's going to be a 1-to-1 shot there. And that's a miss. And then these guys can fire on that hex there. So that's going to be 8, and I think I'm times 2. So it's going to be 16 to 12. It's a 1-to-1. And that's a hit on those boys.
Okay.
And a morale check.
Okay, morale check. 42, they're okay.
Okay. All right, and then I've got these guns here can fire on those guys there. So it's another 1-to-1. And that's a miss. And those guys are out of ammunition. Let me put a little mark on them. Somewhere we had a little game marker thing. Boop. There we go. All right. Moving down the line. That's it for. Oh yeah, I've got this guy here that'll fire there. So it's a 1-to-1. There's a hit on the Hamburg's boys. So they need to make a
all right. I'll check. 66. Okay.
It's feast or famine over here, baby.
Yeah.
All right, so we now do defensive fire. So now we're over in
David's neck of the
David's
woods.
sector. So David, you've got some defensive fire.
Yep.
Shoot him up, David.
Again, I'm trying to read through the battalion mass stuff because I think they're very vague on a couple things, though it does say that
Yeah,
when
so
I fire, I can fire all around.
nope, you only fire through your front hexes in battalion mass against infantry. If you were being assaulted by cavalry, then you would act like a square. So you only get to fire out through your front movement. You only have the through your front hexes in battalion mass. They only form up into that all around facing when they're being attacked by cavalry.
No, I don't quite agree with that, but that's, okay. And when I read something here that it says,
Well,
it says, and it does not say.
Remember the interpretation that
yeah, I mean,
fire is
Ed even said, because I posted something on Consim, he said when they're being attacked by cavalry, you put a square marker on them to help you remember that they have the all-around firing. But you don't do that any other time. Any other time, they're moving and firing through their front hexes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
So you got a shot here, shot here, shot there, shot there, shot there that I can tell going down the line.
It says when it fires its printed fire value regardless of the attack coming from its front, side, or rear. The only time that line makes sense is if I can fire to whatever out in whatever direction, because cavalry not going to fire at me, right?
So we're looking at it here. Players should note that battalion mass moves like a column, assaults like a column, and fires like a column, except when facing an enemy cavalry charge. Then it performs like a square. So it doesn't say you get to fire out everywhere except when you're being assaulted by cavalry. So you, just like as if you were in column, if you were in column, you'd only be able to fire out through your front hexes.
But, okay. I mean, so, but I have this line guy right here, I guess, first. He's going to fire on that.
He can't, because he can only fire at the unit that's assaulting him, and he's being assaulted through the flank. For the same reason that my guns couldn't fire at you as you came up to me, because I was being assaulted and I could only fire at the unit that was assaulting me, which was to my rear. So, moving on to the next one.
What is the next one?
The next one is right over here. This guy here, this guy here, this guy here, these guys here, just down the line.
All right. And these are useless fire, but I will fire the first one. Yeah.
65. That is a hit, even at a 1 to 3.
Where'd they go? That'll make up for
Okay.
battalion mass.
I'll make my morale check. 24. So they will disorder, I'm pretty sure. Okay, next one.
They disordered. They have to go back, don't they?
They do, but fire is simultaneously, Albert.
Okay, all right, okay.
He gets to fire.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
So the next one here. One, nothing there. Into that square there. One, nah. And these two into that one.
Mm-hmm.
One, nah. All right, so.
Two. All right,
when it
and then
goes,
you've got a shot on the redoubt, right?
yeah, but can this? Well, they both have to shoot at the same target, don't they?
Oh, actually, this hit didn't happen because you can't. It's less than 1 to 3 because it's 5 to 16. Yeah. All right. So you've got the shot on the redoubt.
Well, my one question is, can this artillery? Can he shoot at that square?
No, he can only fire at what's adjacent during defensive fire.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sorry. All right, so I don't know what.
Just roll your dice. If it's something good, we'll think about it.
That's
52.
good.
That might be something worth thinking about. So you've got 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 7 is 19. It's 1 to 1. So that's going to be a hit, and that's going to finish off that one. So we'll just mark them. I'll just kind of move them off to the side here so we know what's up with them. Okay. All right. Let me do my firing back at you while we're still in this sector. So let's start over here with the guy I'm assaulting through the flank. So you've got, I think I've got, what, 6? It's 6 to 6. It's a 1 to 1 shot. 31 is a miss. And then same thing over here. But, yep, a 1 to 1 shot there. And that's a miss. And then these two guys are going to combine there. So that's going to be a 2 to 1 shot. And that's a hit.
I should have combined that.
Yep. And then here I've got a 1 to 1 shot and a 1 to 1 shot. So for the first one, nope. And the second one, yes. So these guys took a hit.
Got any hit on them? Nope. And they take a morale check.
Correct.
24, I think they fail. Yep. So they order. Let's go. That way, I guess. Oh no, I'll go the other way.
Decisions. The
Yeah.
challenges of command. All right, here we'll fire. It's a 1 to 1 shot with a +1, and that's a miss. And then here, these guys can fire there at a range of 2. Let's see what their value is. These are Westphalian Jaegers, so they're ×2. So it's basically 6 to 6. It's a 1 to 1 with a +1. Hey, that's a hit on those guys.
And another morale check. There, okay. Yep.
Just barely.
Just barely,
Squeaker.
but that's good enough.
All right, so then my parting shot with my artillery will be here on that. So it's going to be 8 to 6. So it's a 1 to 1. Shifted to 1.5 to 1. 66. That is going to be a hit.
You're also gonna. I have to roll for my officer in there.
Oh yeah, your guy.
Ooh.
So,
Oh, well, yeah.
That hits on the.
So that would be, so because the artillery is there, the infantry is going to soak up the loss.
Okay.
So you'll make a morale check for the infantry, and then we'll roll to see. So let's roll for the leader. I'll roll a die here, a 2. So he got his chest blown out by canister. So he's dead. So you will, make a morale check for the whole hex with a minus whatever he's worth. With a -2. So that's going to be a 26. So the artillery will pass, but the Grenzers are going to disorder.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I have a movement value of 8.
All right. And then you want to, I don't know where you put the leader, but most of the time we've been putting them in the battery box area. Or you could put them on the dead core level chart. Maybe at the top.
Okay, where the heck is that thing? Nope, that's not it. Keep going.
All right.
Chart. Where is it? There it is. Okay.
All right. So then I've got this little bit of artillery here. We'll take a pot shot over there. So it's going to be 12 to 9. 1 to 1. I think my leader adds in a 1 or something like that. Not good enough. Okay. Now we move over, I think, to...
Oh, that's not it. Wait a minute. Where's the leader?
Oh, he's over here. I think you moved him over here. So look further west. He's over here west of the pond.
And this guy was right there, turned like that. There. Okay.
All right. John, thank you for your patience.
Well, I'm awake.
I
I
know.
was gonna say, right over there.
Yeah, so I'm gonna see if we can find. I know Robert can't play. He can't make it on a Monday night, so we'll try to find somebody to help out here, the French, to keep everything moving. Okay, so let's go ahead and move over for the for our friends, the Prussians. So you've got a little bit of shooting here along the line, and then you've got some stuff with the Russians.
I don't think that this guy can make a shot.
He's got 2 to 14, so no, he can't.
Yeah. They can fire on him, so
Yeah,
let's just
so you're
roll.
going to have 8 plus it's 11 to 14, so that's a miss.
No. Then that guy will fire on him.
He can't. I don't think he can hit either.
Yeah, probably not.
You're firing across the rubble wall. I'm in general order. I mean, I'd have to double check, but I'm pretty sure unless he's got a 6, I don't think he can even fire on me.
He's a 5.
Yeah, no, so he can't, because I got a defensive 16. That guy can fire,
This
though.
guy, it'll be a 3 to 1. I mean, yeah, it'll be a bad shot. 41, nothing.
Okay.
Then this guy, I don't think so, because
He's got 3 to 14, so that's
No.
also less than what he can
no,
do.
you can't. No, nothing
So-
there. Okay.
All right, so we'll start up at the macaroni schnitzel. Let's see if I've got a shot from the redoubt up there on the top of the hill. So we'll draw a line. Darn it, John. Everybody's just at extreme range. Well, we'll fire here on these guys at extreme long range. I've got it'll be 4 to 6. No pluses, no minuses. A 35 is a miss, and there's no point in me looking at anything else. So that's the macaroni schnitzel. These guys on the other side of the river at the Saxons, who can they fire on? Your Ergerskis. Yes, I think we'll fire on your Ergerskis. So they'll fire here, and then it'll roll through there. So it's long range, so it's a 1-to-1 shot on the first one, and then a 1-to-1 with a -6 on the next one. And they are
out.
Yep.
Out of ammo.
Yep. Yeah, so you actually have a greater chance of running out of ammunition with this rolling 11 business than you would if we had to keep track of ammunition. So, because it's a 3% chance every time you roll, you're going to run out of ammunition.
I think they should increase it to 11 and 12.
Are you kidding me? Then it'd be a 6% chance. Then it's almost a 10% chance you're going to run out of ammunition every time you fire.
Yeah,
and then if you have ricochet, so I was checking to see if okay, well, I could understand maybe the first die roll, if you rolled an 11, you'd run out of ammunition, but think of all the ricochet rolls. You're rolling for ricochet, rolling for ricochet, rolling for ricochet. Then you get all of this stuff, and it just kind of mounts for you. So, but it is what it is. And
well, the ricochet are really the same shot, so I would think that if it wouldn't matter if you get it on the first or the third and the ricochet.
Yeah,
because it's the same shot bouncing through. It's not a new shot.
Yeah. Well, it's not like suddenly the ricochet, you ran out of ammunition on the ricochet kind of a thing, right. But the rules are what they are. It's like every time you roll, that's what it says. So it doesn't matter what it is, canister, ricochet, whatever. On the bright side, I don't have to worry about having ammunition wagons stacked up all over the crap. Okay, here I've got a shot there, so it's going to be 9 to 14. And that's going to be a miss. All right, I've got a... I'll have these guys here fire there. So that's going to be 12 to 6, 2-to-1 with a +3. And that's going to be a hit on these guys right there. All right. I don't have any other shots. Wait, no. Well, what's our thing if it goes along a hex side?
So you could fire this guy right here on that guy, couldn't you?
I could, but I'm looking at this guy over here. So I'm just wondering if I can fire down that way.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to say no.
Because you're on lower ground.
We're both on the same ground. We're both on the same ground. Yeah. So I'll just have this guy here fire there. So that's going to be a 6 to 14, 52. That's a nice roll, but not enough. All right, and then I'll have these two guys fire there. So that's going to be a 12 to 6, 2-to-1. 26 at 2-to-1. Is that a hit? No, it is not. Okay. Then I will have the skirmishers here, and I believe I've got 5 increments, so it's going to be 15 to 6, 2.5 to 1 on those guys. That is a hit. Oh, wait, 24? Nope, I just missed it. All right, then I've got these guys here can fire there. So I've got 6 6 6 times 3, that's going to be 18. It's a 3-to-1 to shot there. 14 at 3-to-1 is a single hit.
That's the end of those guys.
That is, and it might be the end of your leader.
I don't think so. I think he just goes to a unit. I think he doesn't. I don't. Does that kill him too?
Well, I don't know.
No,
If
he
leader,
flies to it.
Yeah, it says if. So it says here. Leaders can only be captured when the units are stacked with a unit that surrenders, or are reduced to 0 increments, or are forced to rout while the hex he is completely surrounded by enemy units, or an enemy unit enters the leader hex while he is completely surrounded. So I don't know.
He just flies to another unit.
Well, he would do that. He would do that if I had moved into that hex and he was all by himself. Right? So normally the leader, if an enemy unit enters the hex he will fly to the nearest hex containing a friendly one.
Yeah.
So by stacking with a unit that only had 1 increment, when that unit got killed, he's also killed or captured.
Where does it say that?
I'm looking at 8.1.4. It's about midway down. It says leaders can only be captured when the units they are stacked with surrender as a result of a DS on the melee chart, or are reduced to 0 increments, or are forced to retreat while the hex he is in is completely surrounded by enemy units, or an enemy unit enters the hex and he's completely surrounded. So it's the section there that says the unit he's with is reduced to 0 increments.
I never thought that was I always thought he flew to another, when his unit was eliminated, he flew to another unit. He had to be surrounded. Okay, that may be another fifth anomaly I don't like.
Well,
units may only be captured when units are stacked with surrender, a DS result, or reduced to 0 increments, or forced to rout while the hex is.
So is the unit you're with reduced to 0 increments?
Yeah, but not. I mean, through firing. How? I mean, what? But you're firing at me. You're not assaulting me.
Right, but I'm also adjacent to you, and it doesn't matter. This is what the rule says. There's a reason why I charged forward like that. It was my chance to try to take him out. So
it just seems like it doesn't say that. But I mean, it doesn't not say it either. So
exactly.
That's cool.
Now, here's the last thing we could do. And I can look through and pour through the notes that Ed had sent to Tom and see if there's anything in there.
I don't think so.
And if there is any clarification that is in your favor, then we'll just have him move to one of his other hexes. Otherwise, we'll just...
I just asked, I'm just wondering why you didn't retreat him when he declared the assault.
I thought we had to wait till the assault. I mean, I wouldn't have. That's what I was going to do. I mean, I wasn't going to keep him there for the assault. That's for damn sure.
Right, but he got greased before that happened.
Yeah, because they retreat before. I mean, as far as I saw, leaders that retreat, that was before the. It's right before the roll to stand.
Yeah, so you couldn't have retreated. So I just got lucky and killed him before he had a chance to do it.
Yeah.
So.
But it's interesting that like it only says is that the result of a DS. The only way you're going to get a DS is through an assault, on the assault and meal chart or are reduced to 0 increments or are forced to rout while the hex is completely surrounded by enemy. Yeah, so it's very ambiguous
So
again, but
let's
it is what it is.
let's just leave him there, and let's put a little thing here so we just know to check it out, because we got 2 weeks to figure it out, right? So if it's a case where he could have gotten away, then we'll move him away. You know, in any case, I can't initiate another assault anyway, so
Yeah.
you know, so if he were there, I could advance into the hex and then he could retreat away. Or if it's a case where the unit he was with got eliminated, therefore he's eliminated. But we'll just leave a mark there. No harm, no foul. We'll see what the judges say. Yeah, we'll see what do the judges say. All right, moving down the line, we've got some more shooting to do. So we've got these chaps here, and they can fire 1, 2, 1. Let's see, they can fire over this way, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so they'll fire there. So it's going to be a 1-to-1 shot. I don't know if my leader adds anything in. He does. He adds 1 in. So 1-to-1 with a +1. And that's a miss. All right. This guy here will fire there and there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is a 2-to-1 shot on that guy.
The option to retreat before combat must be exercised when a unit is defined as the target of an assault.
No,
well, that's retreat before combat. That's not leaders.
And that's where it's talking about leaders, and that leaders in all instances may retreat before combat. Okay, I'll keep looking, but that's
I mean,
the first thing
it's not a big deal. We'll figure it out, but we don't need to worry about it right now. It's coming up on midnight in your time, thing. Right? Yeah. All right. So I've got a 2-to-1 here with a plus something or other, possibly. Nope, no pluses. So 2-to-1 here, and that is a dead Prussian unit.
he's over there. You see him?
Yep. Let me grab him. Okay. And then we will roll through here. It will be a 1-to-1 with a -6. And that's a miss.
Ooh.
All right. Then, where else have we got stuff to shoot? Yeah, we'll fire over this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5. So we got a 1-to-1 shot there. No, actually, it's going to be more than that, right? It's 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a 2-to-1 shot here with a +6 for Duro. That's going to be a 44. That's a hit at 2-to-1. And a morale check for those boys. Okay.
Very good.
And then we have a 1-to-1 shot here with no pluses, no minuses. 65. That is a hit and a leader casualty on von Prussian.
Oh, man.
So let's roll to see what happens to von Prussian. Oh, he is wounded. He has a leg wound. So 2 dice equals the number of hours out of the battle. So 6 hours. He will be back in 6 hours. So that will bring him back at 6 o'clock. So let me take him off, and I will put him on the 6 o'clock marker. All right, and then make a morale check for those Silesians.
I gotta pick up hit. Come on.
And they pass.
Give me a break.
All right, and that is it then for my shooting. So now we would go to assaults, and I have 2 assaults. So I have an assault here on these guys. We'll do that first. So you've got 5.5 increments to my 7 increments. So it is a 1-to-1, but you've got a -12 for being assaulted through the flank. Are you there, David?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you need to make a morale check for these guys here, the 2nd Battalion of the 9th.
Okay. What?
So you've got a -12.
Oh. And they fail.
Okay.
I'm sure.
So they are going to disorder.
Order. And so they go into 1 square, right? 1, 2.
All right, and we will opt not to advance into that hex. Okay, and then we've got an attack over here. In this particular one, I've got 6 to your 8, so it's a 1-to-2. You've got a
+9.
Yep, +9, but a -12 for being attacked through the flank. So you've got altogether a minus, what, a -3, I guess?
Which one's being assaulted?
These guys right here.
Oh, okay. And
61, they pass. So I've got a -6, but a +12. So I have a +12 altogether for my assault. I mean a +6 altogether for my assault. And we're going to do our assault. So let's take a look at our numbers here. So I'm going to have 24. And you've got 12.
I have
So
12.
it's 2-to-1. 2. Oh, actually, wait, I got more than that because I'm doubled attacking the flank. So I'm going to have 32. So it's going to be 32 to 12. So that's going to be a 2.5-to-1. Yes. So 2.5-to-1, no pluses, no minuses. 42 at 2.5-to-1 is DD.
I'm good. Vendor disorder. So I take a loss.
You're going to take a loss, and you've got to retreat back 2 hexes.
Order. Can he go there, or do I have to go?
You have to move 2.
Yeah, but
You can go there. All right.
Yeah, I mean,
Sure,
Oh,
this is
actually,
weird.
no, he can't because he's got to be further away from an enemy unit than he started. So if he goes here, then he would be 1, 2 away from anything. So he can't go there because he's got to end up further away. So he would go here, and then both of these units route.
Why did they both route?
Disorder plus disorder equals route.
Route. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, and which means okay. So
now they can move 5. Well, they move 2 plus 3. They move 5 total.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3. He's already moved.
He would
Does he
just move
continue?
two. Well, he'd just move 3 more because he moved 2 when he disordered.
Right.
All right. So then I would occupy the hex, and I have to have my rear facing the hex I came from. All right. So that is that. Okay. So now we have rolls for recovery. So I'm going to roll for this cavalry, this poor benighted cavalry over here. 32 becomes a 22. Let's see what they've got. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Yep, they recover. Okay. Doo-doo. Right, and they did not move this. They moved last turn during the rout phase, so they'd still be tired. Okay. Now we've got. Let's just move down the line. Nobody there. I'll roll for this artillery ammunition. Oh, wrong roll. Nope. All right. Then let's see what else we've got. Nobody else over here that I'm aware of. Okay. All right. So then we've got this guy will stay tired. I don't have anybody routed right now. I'm sure that's going to change. We'll roll for this guy here. 26, he's going to rout. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Then this chap here, he's got a -9. 41 minus 9, that's going to be a 31. Let's see what he's got. 21. Oh yeah, he's fine. He's going to recover. Okay. All right, and I've got this artillery here that's out of ammunition. Let's see if they can get their ammo back. Yes, they did. Okay, and then I've got the guns across the river. Let's see if they get their ammo back. They did. Okay. All right, so that's it for the French, unless you guys know of anything I might be missing.
I do have something you guys gotta hear about this battalion mass. Although it says players should note that the battalion mass moves like a column, assaults like a column, fires like a column, except when facing enemy cavalry. Okay? Yep. Then it goes on to say that though it has an all-around facing, it may move only through its front orientation.
Right.
So I think what Ed is trying to say, that because it looks like it's in a line, when it assaults or when it fires, it does it like a column. So a column, when it assaults, uses all of its increments, whereas if it's in a line, it only uses 4 of its increments. But it says here, although it has all around facing, it may only move through its front orientation, in parentheses, as if it were in column. Where a line can move through its side hexes.
Right.
So
Okay,
I don't think that a battalion mass has a flank.
So what do you call anything that's not its front? You call it its rear? I mean, I posted something on Consim, which basically said it's got 2 front, 2 flank, and 2 rear. And if you look at the rules for how battalion mass is in like the premier rules, it has, flank and rear hexes as well. So it's not like it's a moving square. It's only forms up into that when it's being attacked by cavalry. It's not moving around like that all the time.
But that's what I'm saying though it has an all around facing, it may only move through its front orientation.
Yeah, but what are you? I don't know what you're arguing.
Yeah.
Well,
Here, can we finish things up, guys? We can have this discussion.
I would say.
Yeah, let's have this
I would
discussion.
say we ought
day.
to.
Yeah.
When we're a little bit brighter.
Yeah.
It's a little late in the night for this.
It's just kind of ambiguous a little bit.
Yes, we are well aware of that. So let's go into the cup. Let's draw rapidly. I mean, the only thing that.
I would say let's stop and
I'm ready.
Up. Okay, all right.
Yeah, let's just finish this up. I mean, it's
a lot.
basically.
Well, but the regroup is going to be a lot of moves.
Yeah, no, let's just wait then.
How much
regroup's going to take a while? I got a lot.
Well, then let's all do regroup, and I'll move reinforcements while you're doing regroup, right? And then we get that done all at the same time. So let's just go to the cup and let's draw. Okay.
I got another 30 minutes of regroup.
We got the guns firing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's hold off.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is very fun time.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter.
No, I know it doesn't. Okay, so we will call it here. The guns will shoot when I see you in 2 weeks, and we will.
Well, that's right, because Monday is a holiday.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's why with whatever we figure out, like with your leader and everything else, we got time to figure it out, and so that's why I put the marker there so that we could move them around if we need to or whatever else. So
yeah.
All right, everybody. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. I will go ahead and end the live